With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons. With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest.
Let's talk about what to do after a car or truck accident.
First, call 911. Then call Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers.
Let us handle the insurance company so you can focus on getting better.
Being injured in a wreck is enough stress. Let your doctor handle your medical issues.
And let the Skinner brothers handle your insurance issues.
If you've been hurt in almost heaven,
call the Sevens, 304-777-7777.
It's time for the excitement of NCAA Division II football, featuring the Shepherd University Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's play-by-play coverage is being brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, Smallwood and Small Insurance Agency, Powered Beck and Matzaref Law Offices, Senate Finance Chairman Jason Barrett, Hagerstown Ford, Fort Evans Archery, Rocks Local Markets, the Brown Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, the Larry DeMarco team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results, Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, personal injury attorneys, Cody's Auto Body, the Palace Lounge, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, the Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, the Berkeley County Health Department, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, Ameriprise Financial and the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, CMA Honda of Winchester, CMA Chevy and Toyota of Martinsburg, CMA Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Martinsburg, Dignity Memorial Rosedale Funeral Home and Cemetery of Martinsburg, Flower Pools of Martinsburg, Hagerstown, and Chambersburg, and Next Level Auto Detailing. Standing by is our TV10 broadcast team. So let's head to the field and get today's pregame show underway.
Team in all of Division II college football, the Kutztown University Golden Bears come in with an undefeated record of 3-0. For TV10 coverage of Shepherd Ram football, I am Matt Crawford. To my left is Travis Smith. And Travis, you want to talk about a situation we didn't think we'd be in this year. Shepherd going into their 4th game of the year, looking for their first victory of the season.
Talking about painting yourself into the corner of all corners. You're 0-3, looking for your first win, and you're hosting the Kutztown Golden Bears. That's going to be a tall task in any situation, but especially when your team is still struggling to find their identity and still struggling to find that first win of the season. And it's certainly not going to be easy going up against just a quality ball club top to bottom when you look at the Kutztown Golden Bears.
And if you like running the football, this is your style of game. You look at Shepherd running the ball for about 181 yards a game, you're thinking, they got to be the favorite here in terms of who's going to run the football better. How about 253 yards a game for Kutztown?
And that's the thing about Kutztown. They're not relying upon one aspect of their game to be outstanding. One week it'll be the running game that'll really take control of everything. Other times you have a veteran quarterback that can step up and make some plays for you. So this is just a well-built team, and they can beat you in all 3 phases of the game. So Shepherd is going to have their best game of the season across the board if they're expecting to get a win here in front of the home fans.
And Shepherd, a up-and-down season so far. You look at a 41-27 loss in their first week against Frostburg, and then one that got away from them when they played number 4 Slippery Rock in week 3. And then last week, a very back-and-forth first half when they were at Clarion, even took a 7-point lead after their first possession of the second half. And then from that point forward, Clarion just dominated the rest of the ball game, and Shepherd never really had a shot.
And you look at that game, and Shepherd kind of had the advantage at one point. Even though they were trading touchdowns, Shepherd was in the lead, able to maintain, maintain serve. But the thing that really threw them out of the contention for winning that ball game was a critical fumble in that second half. And then at that point was when Clarion was really able to really impose their will on the Shepherd Rams. We knew Clarion can put up a lot of points, and Shepherd really didn't want to get into a shootout, even though they did have success moving the ball, putting the ball in the end zone. That's really not in their comfort zone. It was more in the comfort zone of Clarion. They know that they weren't going to be able to slow down that Rams rushing attack, but they really didn't need to because they knew that they were going to be able to put the ball in the end zone once they got back on offense. So it's something where Shepherd is really going to have to try to dominate time of possession, use that running game, and use that powerful and use their running game to keep Kutztown's offense on the sidelines.
The pregame show is brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Call them at 304-350-1931 or visit WHMsystems.com. Well, enough from us. We're going to take a quick timeout. On the backside, we'll hear from the man everybody wants to hear from, Shepherd head coach Arnie McCook. That coming up next on the pregame show. This is Shepherd Ram Football on TV 10.
Yeah, Robbie, there's a chill in the air, and with fall settling in, it's the perfect time to soak, sweat, and save at Floor Pools. Robbie knows wellness starts at home. Imagine the stress melting away in a Caldera spa with warm hypotherapy jets easing sore muscles, improving circulation, and helping you sleep better. Regular spa sessions can reduce tension, boost mood, and support overall relaxation. Right now, on select Caldera spas, you could save up to $1,500. And don't forget the other half of Total Body Wellness, a T-Low sauna. Regular sauna sessions can boost circulation, support detoxification, ease muscle tension, and promote deep relaxation. For a limited time on select T-Low saunas, you could save up to $1,000. But here's where it gets even better. Robbie says when you bundle a Caldera spa and a T-Low sauna, the savings go even deeper and your wellness routine gets even further. Act now. These savings disappear after September 29th. Stop by Floor Pools today in Chambersburg, Hagerstown, or Martinsburg and let Robbie the Duck guide you to better health, more relaxation, and incredible savings. For details and to explore our full selection, visit floorpools.com. That's Floor Pools, where wellness begins at home.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or hancockchevy.com.
We welcome you back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Our pregame coaches interview is brought to you by Parsons Ford of Martinsburg at 1400 Shepherdstown Road. They became number one by making you number one first, Parsons. Here is Shepherd Rams coach Ernie McCook. Coach, I'll start with the obvious. Defense gave up 51 points against Clarion. What do you feel like were some of the main things that didn't go right in that one?
Well, you got to give credit to Clarion University. I think they had a nice game plan together. I think the quarterbacks and receivers really made some plays downfield. I think our defense just would like to have a couple plays back, where they misfit a few things here and there. Had a couple coverage breakdowns, especially when the quarterback moved and scrambled. But all in all, it was a tough team loss. There's things we could have done better in all three phases, and I think we're gonna, obviously work to be a better football team this week.
Obviously, we talked last week about Clarion and their quarterback and offensive coordinator, and I think it showed some of the stuff that you were talking about, where they seemed like they were really improving what they've been. Is that what you kind of thought?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I was really impressed with their quarterback last year, and then the offseason hire they had with Coach Wilson I thought was a good hire from Coach Monica. And you could just see where they kind of put a bunch of stuff together. I thought their offensive line played extremely well, watching them and having a chance to watch tape. Again, credit to them offensively. I thought they did a nice job. And also I think they played well enough defensively where we could not continue to match scores. So, I mean, that was part of it there.
offense did hang with them for a while. There was that turnover in the second half that sort of let things go the way of Clarion for the rest of the way. But what did you feel about the offensive side of it in general?
I thought we were able to do some things. I don't 100% feel like we were consistent like we want to be. I think we have a lot of room for improvement there. Can't turn the ball over, especially when we're backed up in the low red. That was a tough turnover. Put our defense in a really bad spot, especially when momentum was really imbalanced there. Nobody really had clear momentum at that point. I think that was a key point that gave them a lot of momentum. I think that we've got to continue to be able to run the football. We have to be able to do a good job of being balanced and continue to make plays. But we've got to be smart as a football program. We got to make ourselves a tough team to beat. We can't get bad penalties. There's penalties that we shouldn't be getting, and we have to take care of the football, and we have to force some turnovers.
On the broadcast, Matt and Travis sort of joked around that it felt like the further you guys were backed up, the better it was, because Jordan Barnett would just sort of break a 90-yard run down the field. What were you impressed by when it came to the run game?
Well, I was obviously impressed with what Jordan can do and Grant Swinehart can do, and the offensive line I thought did a really good job. I think what you're seeing is you're starting to see better perimeter blocking by our wide receivers, going down, digging people out. We did a nice job of creating some seams. Jordan, obviously, the 96-yard touchdown that he had, we were in the backed up offense, and we were in a big personnel, and they were down tight trying to stuff us. And he got a seam, he hit it, and he did a nice job reading it and ran. And I thought Malachi Brown did a great job of blocking downfield to help get him into the end zone. It was a real smart play by Malachi. But all in all, I thought that we did some good things. We just need to be better.
Kutztown comes to town this week for the home opener. A few weeks later in the season than the usual home opener, but you guys face the Golden Bears, and what have you kind of seen from them? Obviously highly ranked, same way Slippery Rock was, didn't roll over against Slippery Rock. What have you been talking with the guys about Kutztown this week?
Well, we know Kutztown. We were very familiar with them. We've been in some big-time football games with them in the past. We have a history. We have a tremendous amount of respect for their football program. I think the things that Jim Clements does there is remarkable. He has built a really solid, sound program. I think defensively they're really good. I mean, they just do a good job with their defense, playing within their scheme. They get guys that run to the football. They're never misaligned. They're always going to make you earn everything that you get. Offensively, I think that they are very creative with the things they do offensively. They kind of put you in a tough spot. And I think their whole game plan is we'll let you make mistakes in the kicking game, let you make mistakes on offense, and set our offense to make mistakes and set their offense up. So we've got to be very sound offensively. We've got to do a good job of staying on schedule, moving the football. Don't try and force things. Don't create short fields for our defense. I think, that's pretty key. We have to be good in the kicking game because they're very good in the kicking game. This is a really good football team, well coached with a lot of good players. It's going to be a real challenge for us on Saturday, but fortunately we're at home. I think everybody's excited to be at home, and hopefully the ball bounce our way a little bit.
I know that can be sort of, maybe something that you're this far into the season before you're playing your first home game, but what's that going to mean for you guys that come out there in front of the Ram fans for the first time this year?
I think it's going to be really exciting, and there's no better environment than playing in Shepherdstown. We have a great fan base. It's a great college football environment. Hopefully it'll be a good weather day, and we'll have a lot of fun out here. The tailgating will start early, and we'll give the fans something to be involved in and enthused about as the game goes on.
All right, Coach, thanks for the time and good luck.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Once again, our pregame coaches interview is brought to you by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first, Parsons. We'll be back with more on the other side of this break. This is Shepherd University Football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Surf Law Offices. 50 years experience. No fees unless we collect money for you. Always here to help you. Any questions? lawpbm.com.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
When it comes to providing you with a better car buying experience, CMA's Honda of Winchester takes it personally. Why? Because we're employee owned. That makes us neighbors, and good neighbors take care of each other. Come experience the honesty, transparency, and value we provide every customer, every neighbor, each and every day. At CMA's Honda of Winchester, owners just care more about you.
It's an instant classic. Hold still! Get Rock's delicious chicken sandwich and delicious burger with pickle aioli and Heinz thick-cut dill pickles.
We brought the beach to you. Get Rock's crab cake sandwich with 70% real crab meat.
An overcast day in Shepherdstown as we welcome you back into the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. It's the 0-3 Shepherd Rams welcoming the 3-0 number 5 at Kutztown Golden Bears into Shepherdstown. And we can talk about we're going to talk about offensive keys to the game and defensive keys to the game coming up a little later in the pregame show. But one thing that I think if you're Shepherd, you're going to have to look at offensively, not only you got to run the ball, but time of possession is going to be key in this game because you know Kutztown is going to line up between the tackles and try to run it down your throat. The defense is going to be gassed after every single drive the way Kutztown plays offense, and it's just going to be key for time of possession in this game, Travis.
Absolutely, because you want to try to keep those Golden Bears on the sidelines as far as that offense is concerned. Like we've mentioned, they can hurt you in a variety of ways. We already know that they have a deep running attack where it's not just one guy. They have several running backs that they can lean on, including Stephen Burkhardt, Jaden Stewart, and even the redshirt freshman Eli Cunningham has come in and supplied them with some big plays. But they also have a veteran signal caller in Judd Novak, the redshirt junior, who was second team All PSAC East last season. So he can make plays for you in the passing game, and he can also run the ball. So you have that challenge. And I think what's going to be critical for Shepherd on that offensive side of the ball, and this might sound a little bit different, but I think there might be something that the Rams can really do something to help themselves out, try to slow down that pass rush. Use Grant Swinehart in the screen game. I think if they're able to use that screen game and get the ball in his hands out of the backfield. He had 8 catches last week versus Clarion, and that's something that you're going to need because you're going in against a Kutztown team that had 7 tackles for a loss for minus 41 yards last week. So a team, they like to penetrate, they like to get in the backfield, they like to disrupt things on the offensive side of the ball. So if you're able to use that screen game, give that defense just a little something extra to think about, maybe you can slow down that pass rush, and maybe you can start getting some easy plays where your running back can make some plays out of the backfield, hopefully break some tackles, and maybe get some points on the board for you.
We'll get more of Travis's keys to the game coming up a little later in the pregame show, but let's send it back to the studio. And next in the pregame show, we will hear from a couple of guys that are going to be important on the defensive side of the football, and Nathan Muley at the linebacker position trying to stop that run game for Kutztown, and one of the guys that is going to be very big in Shepherd's offensive time of possession, Jordan Barnett. That coming up next in the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. This is Shepherd Ram Football on TV 10.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows, whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
Providing reliable protection since 1877, we are Farmers and Mechanic Insurance Companies. For over a century, we have been dedicated to provide dependable insurance protection and excellent customer service. We specialize in auto, home, farm, and business insurance. Our products are backed with personal, hands-on service. You can trust us to protect what matters most to you. For all of your insurance needs, there's Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies.
Fort Evans Archery of Inwood is your local full-service archery pro shop with sales and setup, maintenance, repairs, and sight-ins. Fort Evans Archery is a full stocking dealer for all your favorites like Hoyt, Matthews, Elite, Bowtech, Mission, and Bear, with crossbows from Raven, 10-Point, Barnett, and Excalibur. And Fort Evans Archery has a sight range out to 60 yards. Fort Evans Archery, 998 Ardenelville Road, Suite 2, Inwood, open Tuesday to Friday, 10 a.m. until 6, Saturdays 9:30 to 4. FortEvansArchery.com.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Our player interviews are brought to you by the Marius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or give them a call at 304-263-4343. All right, here with Shepherd running back Jordan Barnett. My first question to you, how long does it take you to catch your breath after those long touchdowns that you were going on Saturday?
It didn't take too long, I'm in shape, so I'm just happy to have that long run under my belt.
Had a couple of them. What do you sort of chalk those plays up to? Offensive line being able to open up the holes for you, and just your ability to be able to break that all the way, because some guys that get chased down, you didn't.
I most definitely want to go off and just congratulate the offensive line. They did an amazing job blocking the ball, and I was able to hit the hole after that and get after it.
Obviously, the game didn't end up going your guys' way on Saturday, but offense was able to put up a lot of production. It ended up being a kind of a shootout. From that first game, what do you feel like you guys have been able to improve on the offensive side?
I think just coming together as a whole offense and making plays and trusting in what's being called.
And, when you guys are in those sort of positions where the other team's offense is putting up a lot of points too, what's that sort of mentality on the sideline of like, all right, we got to keep this up, right?
Yeah, most definitely. Our mentality is got to keep scoring, just got to keep the pace and keep the game alive.
So this week upcoming, you've got yourselves a really big test in Kutztown, the home opener. You guys this far into the season getting your first home game. Has that been a little weird for you guys to be this far into the season, get your first home opener?
Yeah, I would say it's a little weird, but I feel like it's kind of, for the situation that we have now, it's perfect what we got going on. So we're excited to play Kutztown.
Kutztown known for having a really stellar defense. What have you guys been focusing on to make sure you can get the ball moving?
I wouldn't say focus on anything. I'd say we would just continue to do what we're trying to do and execute what we have to execute.
And what's it mean for you guys to get the pass game going for you and the running game, and you, Grant, as well, to be able to see when the pass game gets going? Does that make things easier for you guys?
Yeah, the pass game will always open stuff up. Especially in the run game. So we're excited to get that going, run game going, and just to play a full game.
And when it comes to you and Grant back there, what's sort of been the thing for you guys when it comes to sort of splitting reps, and how you guys are used in different situations? How do you feel most comfortable the way that you get used versus the different sort of skill set that Grant might bring?
Yeah, I feel like we both get used in kind of ways that they want us to be used and which ways works best for us. I feel like for me and Grant, we kind of always push each other for no matter what we do, so that helps a lot.
And lastly, just for this Kutztown game coming up, what do you feel like is going to be the key for you guys to hang with them and try to upset them?
If we run the ball effectively and pass, I feel like we have it.
All right, Jordan, thanks for the time. Good luck. We're here with Rams defensive lineman Nathan Muley. Nathan, guys gave a lot of points against Clarion. They had a really good offense. What do you feel like were the hardest things to stop? They had, obviously, that quarterback was able to get things going, move the ball down the field with his legs and his arm. What did you feel like was the difference to where they were able to put up more points than you guys?
I think expanding the pocket was their best ability, especially with that running quarterback, and being able to get outside the pocket and throw it. And he had 431 yards against us, which isn't ideal, but, I mean, yeah, just expanding the pocket for him, just getting there.
What have been some of the main coaching points that you guys have been talking about this week to improve on that performance?
First, stopping the run, just trying to stop the run so they do have to throw the ball, and then when they do have to throw the ball, just getting to the quarterback and rallying.
So you guys on defense, it feels like there's been some improvement in some places from that first game, and you had that bye week in the middle to sort of get things right and had a good performance against Slippery Rock, but still some rough patches from Clarion. What do you feel like are still the main things that you guys do well that you feel like you can keep doing to be able to, we'll clean up the mistakes later, but we do this stuff well?
I think communicating overall. I think just from the second level to the front line, I think communications are probably our biggest strong suit right now, because not a lot of teams have good communications, and the teams that do, I think we outbeat them in that.
You got Kutztown coming up. They're a highly ranked team. What do you guys talk about in the locker room when it comes to these highly ranked matchups? You just had one against Slippery Rock where you guys were in the lead for a lot of it, so obviously it's not like one of these things where a top 10 team comes along and you guys just roll over. What do you guys talk about in the locker room when it comes to that kind of stuff?
Just be more physical. Physicality will probably win this game. They're strong up front. They're big up front. I think just being able to beat them up front physically and just getting to the quarterback.
What have you guys been talking about when it comes to their offense?
Stopping the run. They have a good run game, especially they have another elusive quarterback this week, Judd Novak. So we got to really harp on stopping the run and then getting them to pass the ball.
How does that sort of affect your guys' game on the defensive line when you're playing against quarterbacks like Clarion's or ones that you'll face later in the season who is also maybe just as much of a threat with his legs versus his arm?
It doesn't really change much other than just trying to be more situational with how we do things, especially if we get a down block from a tackle, just being able to surf and read if he's going to keep the ball or not.
All right, if there's one thing you guys got to do to beat Kutztown, what's it going to be?
Being more physical and definitely just reading our keys and getting to the ball.
All right, thanks for the time. Good luck. Once again, our pregame coaches interview is brought to you by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first, Parsons. We'll be back with more on the other side of this break. This is Shepherd University Football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
When it comes to providing you with a better car buying experience, CMA's Honda of Winchester takes it personally. Why? Because we're employee owned. That makes us neighbors, and good neighbors take care of each other. Come experience the honesty, transparency, and value we provide every customer, every neighbor, each and every day. At CMA's Honda of Winchester, owners just care more about you.
Remember all the sports we played when we were kids?
Oh yeah, swimming, tennis, basketball,
Football, soccer, track. I loved winning.
I still do.
Our competitive spirit is still going strong.
But now we use it to win for our clients. If you've been hurt in almost heaven,
call the Sevens, 304-777-7777.
SkinnerWins.com.
Yeah, Robbie, there's a chill in the air, and with fall settling in, it's the perfect time to soak, sweat, and save at Floor Pools. Robbie knows wellness starts at home. Imagine the stress melting away in a Caldera spa with warm hypotherapy jets easing sore muscles, improving circulation, and helping you sleep better. Regular spa sessions can reduce tension, boost mood, and support overall relaxation. Right now, on select Caldera spas, you could save up to $1,500. And don't forget the other half of Total Body Wellness, a Tilo sauna. Regular sauna sessions can boost circulation, support detoxification, ease muscle tension, and promote deep relaxation. For a limited time on select Tilo saunas, you could save up to $1,000. But here's where it gets even better. Robbie says when you bundle a Caldera spa and a Tilo sauna, the savings go even deeper and your wellness routine gets even further. Act now. These savings disappear after September 29th. Stop by Floor Pools today in Chambersburg, Hagerstown, or Martinsburg and let Robbie the Duck guide you to better health, more relaxation, and incredible savings. For details and to explore our full selection, visit floorpools.com. That's Floor Pools, where wellness begins at home.
Back into Monty Cater Field at Rams Stadium as we were just a few minutes away from kickoff. The Rams looking for their first win of the season. Not going to be an easy test against the number 5 Kutztown Golden Bears. It is time for Keys to the Game, brought to you by CMA Chevy and Toyota of Martinsburg, all in one convenient location at 650 Foxcroft Avenue in Martinsburg, where owners just care more. Travis, let's start with Shepherd. What are the keys to the game for them to avoid what is an unimaginable 0-4 start to this season?
And we touched on it a little bit earlier, but the offense, I think they're going to have to use the screen game to try to slow down that defensive rush from the Golden Bears. On defensive side of the ball, looking at Shepherd, they're going to have to get off the field on third down. That is something that has been troubling them so far this season. They're allowing 51% success on third down. Kutztown comes in today averaging 53% success on third down. So that's going to be critical. And Shepherd, they started at the beginning of the year playing well on special teams. Special teams is going to have to shine today. They're going up against a group that not only has 3 block kicks on this young season, they've also returned a punt for touchdown and a kickoff for a touchdown. So they're going to have to play well on special teams as well. And just overall, they're going to have to play a clean game of football. No turnovers, and knock off the silly penalties. They're coming into today's game averaging just over 72 yards per game in penalties. They're not going to be able to give away those free yards like that against a team like Kutztown. They're good enough to make you pay for your mistakes.
And never a good time for a penalty, but it certainly seems like Shepherd takes penalties at the worst possible time. It's drive killers. It's second down or third down and short that all of a sudden then it's a 15-yard penalty becoming second or third and long. So it's one thing to have a false start on a first down at the beginning of the drive. Those are going to happen. But you can't have the holding penalties on big plays. You can't have the real drive-killing 15-yard penalties at the worst time, which seems, especially when you look at last week's game, where over the first couple of drives in the second half, they had about 45 yards in penalties that really just stalled those drives out and gives the opponent an easier opportunity just to get back in the ballgame.
And again, it's just playing clean football. You want to limit those turnovers, and you don't want to have those penalties. And again, that's just something that you could probably say for every game, but it's something that's going to be extremely critical for Shepherd to take care of today. And looking over at Kutztown, you know, if you just go down by the numbers, they don't have to do anything extraordinary today because that's just the type of team that has been built for Kutztown. They don't rely on one aspect of their game to be outstanding. They can do it in a variety of ways, and one way they can do it today is pound the ball on the ground. Like we mentioned, they're coming into today's game averaging over 250 yards per game. For defense, nothing easy. Make Shepherd earn it. Like we talked about penalties with Shepherd, that's also going to be important for Kutztown. Don't give Shepherd any easy first downs, no big plays. Make them earn it because if it gets into a shootout, I think that's going to be much more in the comfort zone of Kutztown, even though their defense has been super stingy. They had the best defensive unit last year in the PSAC, averaging just over 10 points allowed per game. This year, they've stepped it up a notch. They're only allowing a touchdown per game, so that defense is super stingy. And also important for Kutztown, get off to a quick start. Maybe you can rattle Shepherd's confidence because they haven't got their first win of the season yet. And Kutztown's going to try to keep that going today, not allowing to get that first win against the Golden Bears.
All right, that's going to wrap up the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. We are just about ready for kickoff. Kutztown going to get the football first as Max Barta tees it up for the Rams. Rich Pacheski and Evan Myers back to return the kick for Kutztown. Overcast day in Shepherdstown, and we are just about ready for football. Shepherd in the blue uniforms, gold pants, and Kutztown in the white uniform and gold pants. And we are underway at Ram Stadium. It is Myers who's going to take it at about the 2-yard line, comes from the near side across the 15, turns up the 25, gets near the 30-yard line before he is taken down. And the Golden Bears going to start their first offensive drive of the game at the 30-yard line.
And that was Chan Lown with the tackle, the young tight end, 6'3", 210-pound junior, who's also been getting a little bit more time on the offensive side of the ball. He's coming in, he's making his presence felt as far as the run game, but he'll also slip out and pick up a couple yards here and there in the passing game as well.
That opening kickoff brought to you by Brown Funeral Home and Cremation, Robert Field and Sons, a family-owned full-service funeral home proudly serving the area since 1880. 253 yards a game, that's what Kutztown does rushing the football, and you would imagine it'll be no different today. Judd Novak, the quarterback, to his left is Jaden Stewart to start the ball game in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers to each side. Shepherd 4 down linemen to start. Let's see if pressure comes early. Man in motion. There is a quick sweep to the far side. That is Amorim, who stays on his feet across the 40-yard line and eventually pushed out of bounds, but not before a first down. Kutztown as they gain 11 up to the 41-yard line.
And Amorim, he doesn't carry the ball often coming into today's game. Only one carry, but that one carry was for 30 yards and a touchdown. So certainly a player that is explosive and can make something happen with the ball in his hands.
Same formation, 2 receivers to each side of the formation. This time the snap coming from the left hash. Novak drops back to pass, fires left, and that ball is caught up at the 47-yard line on that reception. Once again, it is Amorum, so a run for him and a quick curl route and a good gain on first down as they near midfield up to the 47-yard line. Brings up a second down and a long 3.
That was Devin Harper there in the coverage. And this Shepherd defense, they had success versus Novak last year, really limited him as far as running the ball, also forcing him into 2 interceptions. So let's see if the defense can try to create some type of scenario where they're able to get some more turnovers today, because they're going to have to give an extra possession to their offense if they're expecting to come out of here with a win today.
Stewart moves to the right of Novak in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers each side of the formation. Little play action pass, quick screen out to the left. That caught and immediately stood up. That is on the outside. That is Christilla on the outside making that catch for the Golden Bears. Short of the line to gain, brings up a 3rd down and 3 as he just got back to the line of scrimmage.
And you see the versatility of Nathan Muley on that play. The big guy was able to get out there on the sidelines and make that tackle, doing a good job of limiting that run after the catch.
Definitely not the style of football I expected to see on the first drive for Kutztown. I expected more right up the middle. We'll see if that changes here on 3rd down and 3. This would be a big initial stop for Shepherd if they're able to make it. Shotgun formation, man in motion. They give us a Stewart right up the gut, and he gets close and does get the first down by about a yard. That's more the running style I think you and I are both expecting to start this drive, and they use it on a 3rd down and 3 and gain 4.
And again, these teams, there's a lot of familiarity, so sometimes you see coaches, sometimes they might overthink it and thinking like, well, they're going to be ready for this, maybe show them something different. And then we also saw last week, Clarion did a good job of setting up what they wanted to do in the game in the first quarter by kind of keeping some plays in their back pocket. So maybe Kutztown is taking that same approach, not wanting to show all their tricks here in the first quarter, having some type of adjustment ready for them down the road.
Novak in the shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the near side. Ball is snapped to give is to Stewart. Little stutter step. Goes to the left, and Muley right there with the tackle. A short gain, maybe a half a yard, brings up 2nd and long.
And we've seen Nathan Muley, he'll play inside sometimes, but when he plays out on the edge, that's where he's really playing at his best. He's going to be able to really do a good job of anchoring versus that running attack that's coming right at him, and they have him matched up on a very, very large individual, and that Kutztown offensive line. You got Ryan Schernicke, 6'8", 330 pounds. And again, Ryan Muley able to stand his ground and make a good tackle on the play.
2nd down and 9. Kutztown in Shepherd Ram territory at the 48, make that 47-yard line. Quick man in motion. There is the snap to Novak. Looking left, nowhere to go now. Quick slant. That one caught. Ball's loose, and Shepherd falls on it. A quick turnover for the Rams, and a big turnover for the Rams. They get the football back.
Those are the type of plays that Shepherd's going to need, and you hear that crowd out there. That's something that Shepherd desperately needs. They've started out the season being road warriors, not having that big home crowd to cheer them on. They're going to need all the confidence and all the big plays that they can get, and that was something that was critical because you saw Kutztown starting to settle into a rhythm offensively. So now Shepherd able to get that ball back with the momentum on their side. Let's see if they can take advantage of this opportunity.
The catch went to go turn upfield. It would have been clearly a first down and more, and that ball just pops out. So Shepherd a little bit of momentum early. Hardyway by himself, now bringing Barnett across the formation to his left in the backfield. 3 receivers to the near side of the formation. There is to get the Barnett right up the middle. Crosses the 45 to the 46. And strong running to start the football game for Jordan Barnett.
Running behind that big right tackle, Jaden Perez, doing an excellent job of just reestablishing that line of scrimmage. You want to talk about somebody that's been on a tear. Jordan Barnett has been killing it so far this season. Coming into today's game, averaging 8 yards per carry and has 6 touchdowns.
About 212 yards last week, 96-yard run and a 77-yard touchdown run in that one. Pistol formation for the Rams, 2 receivers to each side of the formation. They give once again to Barnett, and he has stood up right near the line of scrimmage. Brings up a 3rd down and just about 5.
That was big defensive lineman Kyrie Butler getting in the backfield, disrupting things. And we talked about it, that Kutztown defensive front, that they do a very good job of penetrating, getting into the backfield, and really just doing a good job of disrupting things in the backfield. So we saw that big gain on first down. Kutztown was able to establish a little bit of a foothold there on 2nd down and getting a little bit of penetration and slowing down Barnett before he's able to get through the line of scrimmage.
Barnett comes in motion, a blitz off the outside. Hardaway gets it away just past the outstretched arms of Malachi Brown. And Shepherd a 3-and-out after forcing the turnover.
And that was Eden Johnson that was supplying the pressure. He timed it out well, and Hardaway did not see him at all. So that's something that they're going to have to keep their eyes peeled. When you have those slot wide receivers, sometimes it makes it a little bit easier for the defensive coordinator to disguise his blitzes off the edge. And we see Kutztown that time able to get some heavy pressure on Hardaway, forcing that third down incompletion.
Deshaun Alexander on to punt the football. We know he has got a strong leg, and we have seen that multiple times this year. Noah Crisilla back to return. Ball almost blocked, but Alexander able to get it away, and a fair catch called for at the 16-yard line. And that's where the Golden Bears will start offensive possession number 2. 10 minutes left in quarter number 1 here, Monte Cater Field at Ram Stadium in historic Shepherdstown, West Virginia. Shepherd a 51-38 loss last week. For Kutztown, it was a 46-7 victory at home against Gannon. So far this year, it was that Gannon game last week for Kutztown, a Week 2 34-zip shutout at Edinburgh, and then started the season with a 51-14 win against Assumption at home.
And again, Kutztown was just able to run the ball with impunity versus Gannon last week. Novak not really doing too much as far as passing is concerned, but when you're able to run the ball at will like that, you really don't have to ask him to do too much in the passing game.
Burkhart in the backfield with Novak. He gets the carry right at the middle, and once again, Nathan Muley right there with the tackle.
Right now, early on, Muley is just winning that primetime matchup. If you want a matchup to look at in this game, that's certainly at left tackle. Ryan Schernicke going up against Nathan Muley. And then Muley just does such a good job. He's an all-round defensive end. When you put him out there on the edge, he does a equally good job versus the run. And he's one of the few guys that has multiple sacks on the Shepherd Rams defense. So he is a very big contributor to that Rams defensive front.
Bit of a two-headed monster in the backfield for Kutztown with Stewart and Burkhart. Burkhart 209 yards on the season. He's in the shotgun formation with Novak now. Novak back to pass, looking right, has a man. That one is caught by Crisilla at the 35-yard line. A big hit at the end, but enough for a first down, and Kutztown having no problem throwing the football early in this one.
And Crisilla, you can see those Shepherd DBs worried about getting beat deep. They bailed out of that coverage, and that time Crisilla able to run that corner out, and Novak does a good job. He didn't put a lot of heat on the ball. He just wanted to make sure he got the ball to the wide open wide receiver, and Crisilla was able to bring it down for the first down.
It is not going to be a game of quick tempo for either offense. They want to take time off the game clock. Man in motion is Amorum. Two receivers to the far side of the formation and some movement. And we'll see who jumped first. I think it might have been on the defensive side of the football.
I believe the guilty party is going to be Connell Foster for Shepherd, the 5'11", 211-pound senior from Upper Marlboro, Maryland.
Moves ball up to the 40-yard line. And a more favorable first down and 5 coming up for the Golden Bears.
And that's just a smart play that time. Novak using that hard count, pulling off that defensive line, because that defensive line, they're going to have to get the jump. They know they're going up against a larger offensive line, so they're going to have to use their speed and athleticism, so you know they're really going to be keyed up to try to get a good jump on the ball.
Two receivers to the far side. High snap, and Novak able to come down with it. Just gets it out into the flat
tackle
at the line of scrimmage. On that catch is Luke Maxwell, the 6'1", 230-pound tight end.
And Gio DeTolbert able to come up quickly and make that tackle. Just did a good job of just filling the alley. That's something that you expect from your standout safety. And Tolbert, one of the guys that they're relying on defense to have a big game today.
They will give him about a yard. Brings up second down and 4. Ball at the 41-yard line. Kutztown still in their own territory. Empty backfield now for Novak. 3 receivers to the far side of the formation. Tight end receiver to the near side. Shepherd 4 down. Showing right now. Now an extra one coming. Novak going to take himself off the left side. He's across the 45, cuts back to the near side at midfield, and that's where he is taken down after a first down.
And again, Novak will call his own number coming into today's game. 14 carries on the season, 72 yards, averaging 5.1 yards per carry. So certainly a dual threat that defense is going to have to contend with today.
Ball right at midfield, near side hash. Second offensive possession of the day for Kutztown is about this part of the field where they turn the ball over on the first possession. Novak back to pass, quick out. That one caught on the outside. That one brought in by Luke Zabo, number 11.
Zabo, a big target, 6'3", 205-pound redshirt junior from Sparta, New Jersey.
Second down and 2 coming up. Kutztown now into Ram territory. Burkhart in the backfield with Novak. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Shotgun snap for Novak comes. The give is to Burkhart. He goes to the left side, now cuts back up in the middle of the field. And that should be enough, and it is, for another Golden Bear first down.
That was Kyvon Cutchin in on the tackle, 6'3", 305-pound sophomore. And you're starting to see that Shepherd defensive line, they rotate in a lot of bigger bodies. We've already seen in years past how Shepherd likes to use the undersized defensive line, relying on their speed and athleticism. But we've seen some packages this year where they've rotated in some bigger bodies, especially going up against these teams that like to pound the ball in between the tackles.
Novak looking over to the sideline, going to adjust the play a little bit, move Burkhart from left to right in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers to this near side. Play action, quick out, and that one over the head of the intended receiver. That was Trevor Amorum. A couple of Ram defenders there. Brings up second down and 10. Good defense by the Rams.
That was Minka and Batten over there on the play, and that was probably a wise decision to throw the ball away on that play. Shepherd was ready for that. And Novak wanted to avoid another turnover. It's a wise decision. Throw that thing out of bounds, live to fight another day.
5:30 remaining in the opening quarter. From Ram Stadium in Shepherdstown, West Virginia. Shepherd looking for their first win of the year, 0-3, to start this 2025 campaign.
And Novak yet to throw an interception in this year's campaign, but not an overly accurate quarterback, only completing about 54% of his passes coming into today's game.
5 touchdowns to go along with the goose egg on the picks. Play action pass, looking for a quick screen.
Smart.
And just has to throw it into the dirt. The intended receiver was Noah Crisilla on the screen, but a great job by the Shepherd defense to get in the passing lane.
There you go, pressure in his face right away. And Novak, again, you see that veteran signal caller making a good decision. You can't just throw it away or make something else happen because you have linemen down the field. So if he just throws it out of bounds, that's going to be a penalty. Did a good job, just threw it at the running back's feet, not trying to force anything crazy.
Third down and long for the Golden Bears. A turnover in this area of the field stalled their first drive. Let's see if Shepherd can force a 4th down on this drive. Shotgun formation for Novak. 3 receivers to the near side. He drops back to pass, looking right. Now fires deep. That one caught right at the sticks and moving up inside the 20-yard line. That one caught by number 4. That's Richard Pacheski on this near side. First down, Kutztown.
Novak doing a good job of spreading the ball around. He's not shy. He will throw it to a variety of different receivers. Even his tight end has a couple catches coming into today's game, so he will spread the wealth and doing a good job of just running that vaunted Kutztown offense.
Officials moving the ball up to, it looks like, right at the 15-yard line. A little question of exactly where he went down as the chain's now moving.
You see the Shepherd defense making a concerted effort not to get beat deep. And with that shell coverage, they're leaving some things open underneath. And you see that's what Kutztown's looking to exploit here in the first couple of drives. Is fine, you want to take away the over-the-top stuff. There's plenty of room underneath for me to work and get some of those easy completions. And so far, the Shepherd defense has been doing a good job of coming up, rallying on the football, trying to limit those yards after the catch.
First and goal as the ball moved inside the 10 to the 9.5-yard line. Kutztown 9 yards away from putting the first points on the board of the day. Saw the first half last week, Shepherd playing that bend, don't break defense. Let's see if they have a little more of that in them today. First and goal from the 9, shotgun formation for Novak. Burkhart to his right. There's a snap. Novak going to roll right, looking for running room. Instead, he's going to pitch it in the end zone, and a good pitch and catch. That's Burkhart out of the backfield, and a first quarter touchdown for Kutztown. They lead Shepherd 6-0.
And Burkhart just continuing his hot play. Last week versus Gannon, had 12 carries for 120 yards and a touchdown. This time able to do it in the passing game. And again, it looks like it was going to be a two-way option. The quarterback had the option to either run it in himself, but if the defense really commits to take that away, you saw Burkhart was able to slip behind the defense and give his quarterback an open target right there in the back corner of the end zone.
Dakota Campbell on to make it a full 7. Extra point pending. There's the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is good. 4:48 remaining in quarter number 1 here in Shepherdstown. It's the Golden Bears leading the Rams 7-0. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows. Whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
After a car accident, call the local law firm that can give you the help you need right now.
Get more with Manchin Ferretti, the one with 115 years of combined experience fighting for West Virginia accident victims. Get more with Manchin Ferretti.
The one that takes on the big insurance companies.
Get more with Manchin Ferretti. We're Manchin Ferretti.
After a car accident, we'll fight for every dollar you deserve. And if there's no recovery, there's no fee. So call right now.
Get more with Manchin Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
4:48 remaining in quarter number 1. Kutztown holds a 7-0 lead over the Shepherd Rams. Home opener for the Rams here at Ram Stadium. Shepherd 0-3 coming into the contest. Kutztown, number 5 team in all of Division II football, an undefeated 3-0 record. Will Smith will kick it away for Kutztown. It is Malachi Brown and Carrington Nickens-Yazir back to return for the Rams. Smith gets it away, and that's going to push Brown back near the end zone to make that Yazir. He's across the 15 to the 20 and taken down at the 17-yard line. Good special teams play by the Golden Bears.
That was Quentin Piance, the linebacker, 6'2", 230-pound sophomore, coming up making the big hit. We know Shepherd has an explosive, dynamic return game, but that time Kutztown doing a good job of limiting any type of big return and making Shepherd march the distance if they're going to try to get some points on this drive.
And we'll give them the 18-yard line. Second offensive possession for the Rams. The first one a 3-and-out after the defense forcing a turnover. Quick swing pass out. The intended receiver, Malachi Brown. That was a backwards pass, it looked like, and a scoop and score, still waiting for the official signal. And it is a touchdown. That one behind Malachi Brown, and he's got to know better.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you never want to put your trust in a referee's good judgment. So when you have those type of swing passes or flare passes in the backfield, you treat each and every one of them as if they're a fumble if it's incomplete and it gets on the turf. And right now you see the referees looking at it, but from our vantage point, it looks like it was a backwards pass and it looked like it's going to be another touchdown for Kutztown. That's just... You can't have plays like that, and you certainly can't have plays like that coming from one of your veteran contributors.
It was Eden Johnson on the scoop and score if it holds. Right now, call on the field was touchdown, giving the Golden Bears a 13-0 lead. Conversation still going on at the far end of the field from us with the officials. Now the referee's going to go explain to
I think
each coach.
One coach is going to be very happy, and the other coach is probably going to burst into flames.
Shepherd's offense running off the field, still waiting for an official word. And it is going to be Kutztown football. I believe they're going to say could not advance the fumble. So that ball going to be at the 15-yard line. First down and 10 going into the end zone. So Kutztown quickly in Shepherd territory inside the red zone.
And I'm going to have to dig into the rule book on this one. I'm curious as to why he couldn't advance the fumble.
Regardless, not ideal for the Rams. 3 and out and then a turnover on your first 2 offensive possessions. You're playing a team as disciplined and as talented as Kutztown. You cannot give them extra opportunities, especially extra opportunities in the red zone.
Right on the doorstep. And it was set up by an excellent special teams play by Kutztown, getting the tackle on the 18-yard line. So that really puts a little bit of pressure on the offense, being pretty much not actually in the shadow of their goal line, but a little bit closer to their own goal line than they would have liked to have been. And they've had some good returns so far this year. So, again, an unfortunate start to the drive, and then you come out on the opening play of the drive, and it's just a bad decision and just a little – it's carelessness. It's carelessness that kind of led to that play. And now Kutztown, again, like we mentioned, they are a good team. You don't want to give them any extra opportunities because they're going to be able to take advantage of any mistakes that you leave out there on the field.
First quarter of today's game is brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to HagerstownFord.com for more information. Both teams now getting ready to break their huddles on the sideline. And a short field for the Golden Bears. Ball at the 15-yard line on this right side hash. And Shepherd defense, no wiggle room here.
And again, right now, this Rams defense, best case scenario, if they're able to force Kutztown into a field goal, you have to take that as a victory.
Novak in a shotgun formation. Jaden Stewart now moving to the left out of the backfield, and we get a whistle as the ball is snapped, and
false start.
Something going Shepherd's way here in the first quarter. A false start, then I'll move the ball back 5 yards.
A little bit of breathing room for that Shepherd defense, and just too many people moving on that play. When you have that shift before, they have to stay set for at least a second before you send somebody else in motion. So just trying to do a little bit too much that play, and Novak's got to settle them down a little bit and be that field general and make sure that everybody's set for that beat before you send that running back in motion.
Kutztown's last scoring drive, 10 plays, 84 yards, taking 5 minutes and 12 seconds off the clock. They're hoping to take about 20 yards off the field here and make it a 2-touchdown lead. Shepherd's defense hoping to have other plans. Novak back to pass, and he is ripped down, and that was Nathan Muley, but an easy flag there, came in high.
I wonder if imagine this was going to be a horse collar. Novak tries to duck down, and all Muley could get was, it looked like just all throat on the play.
And obviously, I think you described it perfectly. I don't think it was intentional to go high. I think you saw Novak just shrink a little bit in his stance, anticipating contact. And unfortunately, if you're a linebacker coming into Nathan Muley and you see a quarterback dead to rights, you're just grabbing anything you can to get him on the ground. That's football plays that not much you can do if you're the linebacker.
You got the look that you wanted. You're able to get a good jump off of the ball, and right now this Shepherd is just no breaks going their way so far.
All right, so we started first down and 10 at the 15, went back to first down and 15 at the 20. Let's make it first down and 5 from the 10 now. Shotgun formation for Novak. They give this to Stewart, who bounces to the left side. Can he get the corner? He does. And it's a 10-yard touchdown run for Jaden Stewart. And just like that, Kutztown takes the lead 13-0 with 4:10 remaining in the opening quarter.
It looks like Tolbert was going to be able to bring him down, but Stewart is a hard-nosed running back. It's going to take more than an arm tackle to bring him down. Last year, second-team All-PSAC East honors, and has certainly been one of those players that Kutztown likes to lean on. Like we said, they got a couple of guys in that backfield that can make plays for you. And coming into today's game, he's averaging over 10.9 yards per carry and 3 touchdowns. So he is an explosive playmaker.
Extra point for Dakota Campbell is up, and it is good. 4:10 remaining in quarter number 1 here in Shepherdstown. It's the Golden Bears leading Shepherd 14-0. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
Yeah, Robbie, there's a chill in the air, and with fall settling in, it's the perfect time to soak, sweat, and save at Floor Pools. Robbie knows wellness starts at home. Imagine the stress melting away in a Caldera spa with warm hypotherapy jets easing sore muscles, improving circulation, and helping you sleep better. Regular spa sessions can reduce tension, boost mood, and support overall relaxation. Right now, on select Caldera spas, you could save up to $1,500. And don't forget the other half of Total Body Wellness, a Tilo sauna. Regular sauna sessions can boost circulation, support detoxification, ease muscle tension, and promote deep relaxation. For a limited time on select Tilo saunas, you could save up to $1,000. But here's where it gets even better. Robbie says when you bundle a Caldera spa and a Tilo sauna, the savings go even deeper, and your wellness routine gets even further. Act now. These savings disappear after September 29th. Stop by Floor Pools today in Chambersburg, Hagerstown, or Martinsburg, and let Robbie the Duck guide you to better health, more relaxation, and incredible savings. For details and to explore our full selection, visit floorpools.com. That's Floor Pools, where wellness begins at home.
14-0 Kutztown leads Shepherd in Shepherd's home opener from Ram Stadium. 4:10 remaining in quarter number one. It's Will Smith with the kickoff for Kutztown. Back to receive, it's Nickens Yazir, who takes it at the 2-yard line. Is across the 10 to the 15. Cuts back to the near side and nowhere to go. Gets to about the 15, 16-yard line on both of his returns so far, and that is where he has stood up, so not ideal field position once again for the Rams. 4:04 remaining in quarter number one. It was a 10-yard rush for Jaden Stewart off the left side to give Kutztown this 2-touchdown advantage. And if you're Shepherd, start small, but at least you need a first down on this drive. If nothing else, give your defense a little bit of a rest on the sideline.
And again, Shepherd had some early success running the ball with Barnett. I think they need to get back to that just to kind of give themselves something positive to build on.
Hardaway drops back to pass that one. A quick out to the 20-yard line and caught on the outside. That was Cordell Batten on the reception. Gain of a couple.
Batten coming off of a good game last week. 3 catches for 27 yards and a touchdown. So known to come up with that timely catch, and that was certainly a positive play that Shepherd sideline and these Shepherd home fans certainly need it.
They get him up to the 22-yard line, brings up a 2nd down and 6. 1 receiver to the far side, 2 to this near side. It is Barnett in the backfield with Hardaway. Hardaway back to pass again, looking right. He does hit Barnett, who is immediately, and Shepherd going to have to get the football back.
Again, Kutztown did a good job of getting after that first punt. He was barely able to get it off. We know Alexander has a big leg, but sometimes a little bit slow in getting it off, so you figure the Golden Bears probably going to dial up some heat on this play.
Little confusion on personnel for the return team for Kutztown. As Deshaun Alexander on for his second punt of the game, it is Noah Crisilla who stands at the 35-yard line. And that ball goes through Alexander, back near the goal line, and that is fallen on by the Golden Bears. And a special teams touchdown on a snap that went through the hands of Deshaun Alexander.
And it couldn't get any worse, any faster for Shepherd so far. We knew Kutztown, they're good in all 3 phases of the game, and we have seen them be good in all 3 phases of the game here just in the first quarter, and a couple of just, not that there's ever a good time to be that deep in your territory and to turn the ball over like this. You're not doing yourself any favor going up against a ball club like the Golden Bears. But you're playing like this, you're not going to be able to beat many teams, let alone Kutztown.
Dakota Campbell on to make it a 21-0 advantage for Kutztown. Kick is up, and it is good. 1:57 remaining in quarter number one. It is all Golden Bears, 21-0. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
Jonathan Bodwell Insurance Solutions. We've been serving the Eastern Panhandle with their insurance needs for 20 years. We specialize in Medicare and health insurance plans. Medicare can be scary. We help seniors navigate the Medicare maze and not get taken advantage of by the call centers. We give honest, local advice on your insurance. We're located in the Aiken Center, 304-283-0864.
The 39th Annual West Virginia Breeders' Classic is Saturday, October 11th at the Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. Post time is 7 p.m. Come out early to enjoy Odyssey Band, food trucks, caricatures, and a photo booth. There's 10 races featuring West Virginia's finest thoroughbreds competing for year-end honors and championships. The Breeders' Classic is the Super Bowl for West Virginia horsemen. So get ready for another unforgettable evening at the track for the 39th Annual West Virginia Breeders' Classic.
Not the home opener Rams fans were expecting here early. 1:57 remaining in quarter number one. And it is all Kutztown 21-0 as Will Smith set to kick it off. Gets it back to Nick Nziazir, who has it go off of his chest and out of bounds at the 5-yard line. And I'm not sure this game could be going any worse so far for Shepherd. There's really no other way to say that. It's turned from bad to worse here, especially on special teams.
I know there's rain in the forecast. From the looks of it, it's already here.
It's pouring
right now. My goodness. At this point, it's just, guys, we've got to put 2 positive plays together.
A first down would be like the Super Bowl at this point.
Yes, at this point, it's just.
First down and 10, ball at the 7-yard line. Shepherd deep in their own territory, shotgun formation. There's the give to Swinehart. Little stutter step, gets across the 10-yard line up near the 13. And a good run for Grant Swinehart. First time we've called his name today.
And we talked about Barnett having a whale of a season here so far, having a couple of monster games here back-to-back. And you're starting to see Swinehart. He's starting to emerge a little bit more on his own right. He's also a good runner himself, physical runner, but has good hands out of the backfield. So a couple of bright spots for that Shepherd offense.
They give him 5 yards up to the 12-yard line. Once again, it's going to be a give to Swinehart up the middle, that across the 15-yard line. And that's enough for a first down Shepherd. First time I've been able to say that today. It's a first down Rams.
Running behind left guard there, Caleb Herb. Creating a little bit of space there off the left side of the line. We know that those veteran offensive linemen, mostly on the right side of the line, but Shepherd, year after year, does a good job of just developing those linemen. Smart, athletic offensive line, and do a good job of working up to the second level and getting on those linebackers.
Ball to the 18-yard line, a low snap. Hardyway able to come down with it, and as Swinehart goes up the middle, we have the whistles blow and a false start on the Rams. Push the football back to the 13-yard line, and let's make it a 1st and 15.
It looked like there was a bit of a communications breakdown on that play because it looked like the ball got back on the quarterback a little quicker than he was expecting. There were a couple of people moving in the backfield. So right now just the wheels have fallen off for Shepherd here in the first quarter. If you want to look at it glass half full, if you're that type of person, they do have 3 quarters to get the ship righted.
They do, no doubt about it. We're under 40 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Give us to Swinehart up the middle. Breaks the tackle. He's across the 20 to the 22-yard line. And a good strong run on 1st and 15 for Grant Swinehart. And so far, he's been the spark of the Shepherd offense early.
You got Barnett and Swinehart. For bigger guys, they both have very good feet. And a shifty run that time for Swinehart in traffic, able to pick his way forward and get up one of the few positive plays that Shepherd has had here early on.
Brings up a 2nd down and 7, 10 seconds remaining in quarter number one. See if Shepherd elects to let this clock run, or if they have one more play in them before the quarter ends. Hardyway does take the snap and sweep to Malachi Brown on the far side. He's across the 20 to the 25, across the 30, up to the 35-yard line before he is pushed out of bounds. And a good strong sweep by Malachi Brown as we are through 1 quarter of play here in Shepherdstown. So far, it is all Golden Bears 21-0. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance. From oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections, they handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or hancockchevy.com.
Shepherd will have the football at their own 36-yard line to start quarter number 2. It is a first down and 10 coming up from this near hash. Good strong run for Malachi Brown off of the right side as we ended quarter number 1 as the rain has started to fall in Shepherdstown. We knew it was in the forecast today. Hoping it stays as the light sprinkle it is right now. Obviously adds its own level of impact, especially on a turf field, makes it a little more slick.
Shepherd running that ball with Malachi Brown off the right side. Nothing fancy. Moved 2 tight ends over there. Had the running back as a lead block. So you basically had more people to block than Kutztown was able to address. And a big play, a much needed play for Shepherd.
Hardyway gives to Swinehart up the middle. He gets to the line of scrimmage and maybe at a yard. They will give him the 37-yard line. Brings up a 2nd down and 9.
And that time, the big D lineman, Butler, in on the tackle. We've said his name several times today. And we'll see Kutztown also rotate several players up front, just trying to keep those big guys fresh.
Receivers bunched to the near side of the formation. Jaden Ashby by himself on the far side. Once again, the give is to Swinehart. He's bottled up and then bounces out the tackle at the 40-yard line. He turns upfield, gets to the 45, and rolls forward to the 46-yard line. And great run by Grant Swinehart, turning nothing into something. A first down, Shepherd.
Jasir Harden in on that tackle, and Swinehart has just come in with fresh legs and making plays. Again, we have those 2 running backs in Swinehart and Barnett. They have been excellent so far this season for Shepherd. It's just they haven't had the other things that have fallen into place where those positive plays have resulted in a win. But right now, you need anything you can get, and right now Swinehart has been that supplier of positive plays.
First down and 10 at the 47-yard line. Jordan Barnett now in the backfield with Mike Hardyway. The give is to Barnett. He cuts to the near side and drags a tackler near midfield. A gain of 3 on the play and a good shoestring tackle in the open field. Looks like that was Zach Perta on the tackle.
Perta in on that tackle. And again, Barnett, Swinehart, much better going downhill. So Kutztown, what they're going to try to do, try to string out those runs. They know Shepherd likes to run those zone running concepts. If they're able to string those running backs out towards the sidelines, that's going to be a little bit more in favor of that Golden Bears defense and not so much the strength of these big, powerful running backs.
There's the give to Barnett as he crosses midfield into Kutztown territory for the first time today. Tackled at the 47-yard line.
Barnett checks out and Swinehart checks in. That's a nice luxury to have when you have 2 running backs that can come in and help out the offense in a variety of ways. And right now, Shepherd's just trying to chip away at it, and I think they're doing it the best way you possibly can. Try to set yourself up for 3rd and manageable.
3rd down and 4. 2 tight ends go in motion from right to left. Pistol formation. Swinehart behind Hardyway. Their play-action pass. Hardyway looking left. It's a curl route. Jaden Ashby, the intended receiver, and he's got it on the far side. Actually make that Malachi Brown with the reception to the 35-yard line, and that's enough for a Ram first down.
Shepherd going max protect, like we mentioned coming into today's game, giving up 9 sacks. I knew they were going up against a tough pass rush. They go max protect. Only a couple wide receivers go out in a pattern. One of those wide receivers being Malachi Brown, using that comeback route to work the sidelines, and a good throw that time by Hardaway. Malachi Brown almost to break an extra tackle would have been a big play for that Shepherd offense.
Swinehart in the backfield with Hardaway. Ball on the left hash, 34-yard line. Quick screen to the outside and over the intended receiver. That was Caden Lanza, who by the time he turned around, that ball was whizzing past his left ear.
Lanza coming off of a big game last week, had 9 catches for 99 yards. So you're starting to see Shepherd using their tight ends a little bit more, but that time just a young tight end not able to get his head around quick enough for Hardyway's pass attempt.
2nd down and 10, ball at the 34-yard line, 11:51 remaining in quarter number 2. Seen a lot of motion early in the Shepherd offense today. Give is to Swinehart. He goes right up the middle, bottled up near the 30-yard line. Brings up a 3rd down and long. 3rd and 6, maybe even 3rd and 7 coming up for Shepherd.
Shepherd's shown that tight end wing look several times already today. Mason Miller coming in as that wing back. And again, you run that zone action off to the right. You have that wing doing the scoop out block on the backside, and you allow your running back just to use his vision, find a crease, and try to pick up some positive yards.
Quick pitch just to Swinehart on 3rd and 7. Bounces to the outside. He's inside the 30 to the 25. And depending on where he stepped out, that's going to be close to a 1st down. We'll have to wait on the official spot.
And Swinehart just playing with an extra burst this week. Starting to see that contrast between Swinehart and Barnett, but so far both guys have been playing pretty good football here today when they have the ball in their hands.
It is enough for a 1st down Rams. As they say, Swinehart stepped out at the 25-yard line. And Shepherd putting together a good drive so far. Let's see if they can cap it off with 7. They certainly need it.
Lanza checking back in the game and has really been a nice surprise for this Shepherd offense this year.
Saw a couple of targets in the first half last week. Hardyway back to pass, looking across the middle. The intended target right on cue was Lanza, in and out of his hands, the defender on his back quickly.
Brandon Strouser, Johnny on the spot, the 5'11", 225-pound redshirt senior. Good season last year. Had 46 tackles, 27 of those solo, 4.5 tackles for a loss, including 3 sacks. So not only can he make plays in the run game, but also comfortable playing in space versus the pass game.
2nd down and 10. 2 receivers to the near side. It is Ashby and Brown. 2 tight ends not coming in motion to the near side. Pistol snap. They give his to Barnett. Little stutter step goes right up the middle. He's inside the 20 now, nearing the 15, taking some tacklers with him inside the 15, down to the 14-yard line. 1st down Rams.
Barnett bumping and banging, getting the ball down inside the red zone, and this is the Shepherd football that folks were expecting to see coming into this season. And you see positives, just not enough for Shepherd to put a win in the W column so far this year, but they haven't done themselves any favors with a poor start to today's game, but right now looking to chip away at that lead with their best effort so far.
2 receivers in the set, pistol formation, Barnett in the backfield. The give is to Barnett right up the middle. Gets up to the 10-yard line before he meets a couple of gold helmets.
Again, that zone run action off the right side. And what you're trying to do, you want to hold that backside defensive end. That's why they fake that end around to Malachi Brown, because you can kind of occupy a defensive lineman by using that wide receiver. So not too often that matchup's going to be in your favor, but if you're able to do that and fake that end around, that's going to make that backside defender play honest. And if you see him crashing down, maybe you give it on that end around next time.
2nd down and 6 to give once again to Barnett. Looked like he lost his footing a bit with the defender right at his feet and stood up. Ball is loose, but I believe they have blown the whistle dead as Barnett gets about a yard on that play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5 coming up, ball at the 9.
And that was Khalil Williams that made that play in the backfield. We talked about it. That Kutztown defensive front does a good job of getting penetration, and that time just enough to throw Barnett's rhythm off and hold him to a minimal gain.
Shepherd has done a great job converting on 3rd downs this drive. Let's see if they have one more in them. They can get a 1st down without getting in the end zone. 3rd down and 5, ball at the 9. Barnett now in motion out of the backfield. Hardyway back to pass, looking right. He does find Barnett, who drops the ball back at the 13-yard line, but a defender was right there in coverage regardless. Brings up a 4th down and 5, and it looks like Max Barta coming on to put some points on the board, hopefully for the Rams.
That was Terrell Ford out there on the edge supplying the coverage, and Barnett wisely picking up the ball. I think Shepherd has learned that lesson. Any type of pass, where a screen pass or some type of swing pass, don't trust the referees. Pick it up and treat it like it's a live ball.
27-yard kick for Barta, middle of the field, snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. Shepherd on the board, still down 21-3 with 8:23 remaining before the half here in Shepherdstown. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
So the other day, a judge asked me how much younger I am.
Well, the other day a judge asked me how much taller I am.
But who's the better lawyer?
Well, that's an easy one.
At Skinner, we don't leave results to chance. We fight for what you deserve. If you're hurt in almost heaven, dial the 7s.
Double or nothing.
SkinnerWins.com.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
21-3, 8:23 remaining in quarter number 2. Shepherd able to put a field goal on the board their last drive. But, Travis, you and I talking, the way that Kutztown is moving the football, you would have really liked that to have been 7.
You're not going to get many trips down into the red zone versus this Kutztown defense. Like we mentioned, they're only giving up 7 points per game. So those opportunities are going to be few and far between. But, again, a positive play is a positive play, and Shepherd sorely needed it.
Purda on the return, he brought it out of the end zone, got across the 20 and up to about the 23-yard line on the far side, and that is where Kutztown will start this offensive possession. And you look at the 21 points, and if you're just tuning in, you're probably assuming that's been a good offensive day for them, and really they've had one good offensive drive, and other than that, it has really been Shepherd shooting themselves in the foot.
Defense and special teams. Again, we talked about this Kutztown team. They are so well built top to bottom. They are thorough in all 3 phases of the game, and all 3 phases have shown up. The defense has been stingy. They forced a turnover. The special teams, they have been special for Kutztown this year. They forced a turnover, and then the offense, a nice long drive, and they punched it in. So you see why this team has the high ranking that they have earned.
Jaden Stewart in the shotgun formation with Novak, one receiver to his right, as Stewart now moves to his right in the formation. 2 receivers to our near side. First down and 10 from the 23. They give us to Stewart right at the middle. He's across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Gain of 3 on first down. And the drizzle we were talking about 10 minutes ago has now turned into rain. It is coming down here in Shepherdstown, and we'll see if that plays into either team's game plan. You have 2 teams that like to run the ball anyway, so I can't imagine it's going to adjust the game plan too much, except for on Shepherd's side, the deficit you're seeing 21-3. They're going to have to be able to put the ball in the air as this game moves forward.
There you go. You said it perfectly. So it's really going to be a much tougher sledding for this Shepherd offense because they're in desperate need of some big plays, whereas Kutztown, they're built for this. They have a team that's built to travel.
Novak back to pass, looking left, fires deep over the middle. A little bit of contact and a great catch on this near side. That was Luke Zabo on the reception, and looking a little bit like last week here for Shepherd as they gave up a lot in the middle of the field, especially throwing the football deep.
And that's tough because it was more the quarterback having so much time to the wide receiver to come open. Wasn't so much bad coverage, but again, we saw that last week. There was a lot of times where Clarion had success working the middle of the field, splitting those safeties. And when you're not able to get pressure up front without blitzing, you're going to have plays like that on the back end.
First down and 10 to give is to Stewart. No, make that a play action. It's a quick slant across the middle, and that's Priscilla with the reception and another Golden Bear first down.
And now you're starting to see Kutztown. Now they're starting to settle into a groove, using their run game. Now they're setting up their RPO packages. And that time Novak able to pull it and throw a dart to his open wide receiver. And you can see Kutztown right now extremely comfortable with this 18-point lead.
First down and 10, ball at the 29-yard line. Kutztown moving in. 4 down linemen for the Rams, 3 receivers to the near side. Novak takes a snap, gives it to Stewart. He's going down the right side, and nobody is going to catch him. 10-5 touchdown, and the Golden Bears able to do whatever they wanted on that drive. A 29-yard touchdown run, and they take the lead 27-3. Extra point coming up.
And that Kutztown offensive line on that right side, you got Adam Conklin and Shane Hartman. They did an excellent job of just washing everything down inside. The running back does a good job of first selling that inside run. You want to press the hole, make that defense commit inside, and let those big uglies up front just wash everything down. And at that point, he was just able to bounce it outside, and there was nobody out there waiting for him on that right edge.
Extra point coming up for Dakota Campbell. There's the snap. Hold is down. Kick is up and a wobbler, but it does make it through the uprights. 28-3, 6:08 remaining in quarter number 2 here in Shepherdstown. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
Beck and Matsurif Law Offices. 50 years experience. No fees unless we collect money for you. Always here to help you. Any questions? lawpbm.com.
This is Cody with Cody's Auto Body. The stories are on the way. Reliving glory days, the injury that prevented stardom, or the inevitable, I even could have made that play. With football season comes a lot of delusion of greatness. Well, no one believes you would have made it in the big leagues. Let's at least make them think you're a good driver. Bring that vehicle to me and I will make it the pride of the parking lot at every game. I'm Cody with Cody's Auto Body, the MVP of your season. That's Cody's with a T for trust.
6:08 remaining before the half. 28-3. Shepherd trailing Kutztown. And to say on this drive they need a touchdown would be the understatement of the century.
Just something positive. Just anything positive at this point. You need something that you could kind of build on going into halftime because it has been all Kutztown here early on.
Will Smith to kick it away for Kutztown. Nickens Yazir and Malachi Brown, the return men for the Rams. Nickens Yazir takes it about a yard deep, brings it across the 5 to the 10-yard line, the 15-yard line, now the 20 before he is wrapped up.
Man.
And the return gain for the Rams, just not able to get anything going on special teams. It'll be a 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line as Shepherd's offense has 6:02 to work with before halftime.
That was Ty Keppert, linebacker, in on that tackle. And If you had to say something I was going to be surprised about with today's game is how Kutztown has just been able to shut off the water of that kickoff return game for Shepherd. That's something that has been explosive and dynamic so far this season, and that has not been the case today. They haven't got past the 20 so far on the kickoff return.
The give is to Swinehart. He lowers his shoulder and gets up near the 25-yard line. Can they do something about the water falling from the sky as you're talking?
We've seen a couple times so far today where they'll motion over that tight end. We've seen a couple times so far today where they'll motion over that tight end and wing look, and then they run behind that look. I think it may be something now where you want to bring that wrinkle out where I'm going to show you that look, but then go the opposite way. And Kutztown, they were ready for it that time. And Shepherd right now just grasping at straws, trying to come up with some answers.
3rd down and 8, ball at the 22-yard line, 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Hardyway takes the snap, looking over the middle. The intended receiver is Ashby. He's got a 35-yard line, nears the 40, gets up to just about the 39, and that's a 1st down Rams.
That time Amir Anderson supplying the coverage on Ashby, and Ashby just did a good job of getting that inside leverage and running the space, and Hardaway a good throw to give his wide receiver an opportunity to make something happen after the catch.
1st down and 10, ball near the left hash, pistol formation. It's Swinehart behind Hardyway in the backfield, 2 receivers to each side of the formation. There's a snap, a little read option. The give is going to be to Swinehart. He's across midfield before he's taken down, and another strong run for Grant Swinehart. 1st down Rams.
Swinehart almost looked like a draw play. It was a slow developing play in the backfield, and Swinehart just able to find that crease up the middle. And we've seen Shepherd this year, those big, long runs that we've talked about coming from Barnett and Swinehart have usually come not even in the tackle box. They've come in those A-gaps in between the guards. And, again, Shepherd having some success on the ground running the ball.
Ball at the 49-yard line. Shepherd in Golden Bear territory. Hardyway back to pass, looking right now, going to roll out to his left. He's got room to run if he wants to. He's inside the 45 and steps out just before the 40-yard line. And a good run by Mike Hardyway. We'll see where they place the football, but gaining a few on the play.
And Hardaway, it looks like he had some time to stay in the pocket, but he bailed out of there quickly, seeing that Kutztown's defense, they were bailing out in zone coverage. So he just saw that green grass in front of him and decided to tuck the ball and pick up a nice gain on first down. And that's going to be critical for Shepherd's offense here on out. Now, are you going to be able to have success on first down? That's going to set you up for second and manageable and possibly even third and short.
How about 6 on that first down scramble? Second down and 4 coming up, ball at the 42-yard line. And Shepherd head coach Ernie McCook going to take a timeout with 2:55 remaining in quarter number 2. Let's send it back to the studio. Let's take a 30-second break. We're back. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
.255 remaining before halftime as the rain continues to fall in Shepherdstown. Shepherd looking for any spark they can get on this drive. They need 7 if they want to stay in this football game. Second down and 4. Ball at the 42-yard line, Shepherd and Kutztown territory. There's the snap and a roll out to this near side for Hardaway. He is looking deep and throws that over the head of the intended receiver.
Zion Grantham checking in at running back. A different look, and again, wasn't much there, just a simple rollout to that side, and Hardaway not wanting to force it. Team in good field position. You got third and manageable, so no reason to try to force it in there when you don't have to.
Grantham, not a name we have called a whole lot this year, a local product out of Martinsburg High School. Third down and 4, ball at the 42-yard line. 2 receivers to this near side, 2 to the far side. Hardaway by himself in the shotgun formation. He takes a snap, looks across the middle to Ashby, who has the catch and a spin move inside the 40-yard line.
And the ball
is loose. We'll see if they mark him down. I heard some whistles and looking for a signal. I think our referees are going to have to convey with this one as to whether he was down at the 38-yard line or whether it's a fumble and a turnover.
So far, we've had a couple big referee discussions early on about a ball on the turf. It hasn't gone too well for Shepherd so far. Let's see if they're able to get a lucky break this time. Ashby, that was a nice catch. He plucked that ball out of the air. Looks like the referee's going to say that he was down by contact. So, finally, Shepherd gets a break that goes in their favor. But now, curious to see as to where they're going to spot the ball, possibly even call for a measurement.
The line to gain was right near the 39. In between the 38 and the 39-yard line. I believe it's going to bring up a 4th down and short. And if you're Shepherd, there shouldn't really be any question here. You got to go for it.
Although they have been traumatized by some 4th down attempts so far this season, so always going to be in the back of your mind. But Shepherd, at this point, you from here on in to the fourth quarter, you're in 4-down territory. Like, you have to make something happen.
I believe, are we going to get a challenge? I think we're going to get a challenge on the play as we have our 2 referees going to the left side of the Ken Boone Fieldhouse. No challenge flag thrown, but a hat thrown. I think as the challenge flag indicator as we have 2 referees going into the booth to our left to take a look at that last play, whether the receiver Ashby was down by contact or whether that is going to be a big turnover for the Kutztown defense.
And that's about the first thing that Kutztown has shown that they don't have is a red flag. They got everything else. Offense, defense, special teams, talent, depth, experience. No red flags.
This replay brought to you by the Larry DeMarco team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results. Looking for a home in the tri-state area? Call the Larry DeMarco team at 304-262-4222 or visit them online at www.modernrealtyresults.com. Well, the referees are in the tent taking a look at that last play. Let's go ahead and take a 1-minute timeout. It is 28-3 Kutztown leading Shepherd, 2:37 remaining in quarter number 2. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
There's a new seafood place in town. Get Rock's Crab Cake Sandwich with 70% real crab meat.
They're a hit. It's a race between Rock's delicious chicken sandwich and delicious burger to see which is best. And the winner is, get both.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows, whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
2:37 remaining before halftime. Currently Kutztown with the lead 28-3. Shepherd still with the football as of now. Referees in the review booth looking to see if Jaden Ashby was down before that ball popped loose. Ball at the 39-yard line. Shepherd currently in Kutztown territory. The call on the field was that Ashby was down as our referees now make their way back onto the field. And so far, replays this season for Shepherd have not gone their way.
And Ashby did a good job of just plucking that ball out of the air, but sometimes when you're behind, you have guys that are trying to make desperate plays and trying to do too much even when they're wrapped up, and that could be the case here of possibly a fumble, depending on what the referees call.
Fourth down, the ball stays with Shepherd. They're going to say that he either was down or they could not find conclusive evidence to overturn the call. It'll bring up a 4th down and 1, and no surprise here, the Shepherd offense going to stay on the field. It's that in-between territory anyway, but you look at the scoreboard, and definitely no question here why the offense staying on the field.
You got to go, and Shepherd's going from one tough situation to another. You nearly avoid losing the ball on a fumble, but now you're in a 4th and short where you could possibly lose the ball and turnover on down.
Shotgun formation. This is Swinehart in the backfield. There is the give to Swinehart, and he is bottled up and nowhere to go. A turnover on downs. It looked like a read option that it could have been Mike Hardyway able to pull it. Decided to keep it in the gut of Grant Swinehart and just nowhere to go. White jerseys everywhere. And a turnover on downs. Kutztown going to get the ball back with 2:32 remaining in the first half.
And Kutztown's Mikey Gray, the defensive lineman, 6 foot, 260 pounds, played a lot larger on that play. He made that play on Shepherd's line of scrimmage. We talked about how good that Golden Bears defensive front is, and they do such a good job of just pushing back that offensive line, getting penetration, and that was the key on that last play. You knew Shepherd was going to load up. They had the 2 tight end look in there, and they've had success early on, but Kutztown was certainly ready for that 4th down attempt.
Kutztown hasn't needed long on drives today to be successful. There's the give on 1st down and lowering his shoulder, and a great run for Burkhart. And that should be enough for a 1st down as it is. Burkhart off the left side showing the power.
And not to pile on, but now Shepherd is 0-6 on the season when it comes to 4th down conversion. So 4th down has not been kind to the Rams.
1st down and 10, ball at the Ram 49-yard line. And they will not get a snap off before the 2-minute timeout. We'll take the 1-minute break as well. Back with the final 2 minutes of the first half here at Ram Stadium. It is Kutztown 28, Shepherd 3. This is Shepherd Football on TV 10.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How can I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm John Everson, Private Wealth Advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
First down and 10 out of the timeout. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Ball at the 49-yard line. Kutztown in Shepherd territory. There is the snap to Novak. He's going to drop back to pass. Looking left. Has a receiver and broken up. The intended receiver was a Rich Pacheski and could not come up with it. Good defense in the secondary by the Rams.
That time Batten got there, and you could hear the groan from the Kutztown fans, feeling that Batten got there a little bit before the ball did, but the referees not throwing the flag on that play. And one of the few times that this Rams defense has been able to establish a foothold on first down.
2 receivers each side of the formation. We talked about at the beginning of the game, time of possession, and it really hasn't taken Kutztown very long on their drives on offense, as the give is to Burkhart this time, cutting upfield after looking to his right, nowhere to go. A gain of about a yard to a yard and a half. Brings up a 3rd down and long, and this would be a big stop for Shepherd if they can get it.
Good tackle that time by Kyrie Wimberly. Not too often you can bring down those Kutztown running backs one-on-one, but Wimberly was up to the task on that play, and now this Rams defense has a chance to get off the field. We knew that was going to be critical coming into today's game, as how they were going to be able to get off the field on 3rd downs. They've struggled so far this season. Let's see if they can rise to the occasion this time around.
3rd down and 9. Novak pointing out defensive alignments. Burkhart in the backfield with him. Novak back to pass, looking left, and he's got a wide open receiver. That ball caught at the 10. Now cutting inside the 10 to the 8. It was Noah Crisilla, once again the favorite target of Judd Novak today, and he had about 5 yards from the closest defender, where he caught at the 20-yard line. Cut inside, now inside the 10, 1st and goal for the Golden Bears.
And that time just a miscommunication between the corner and the safety. Safety staying inside to take away that slot wide receiver, and that has opened up a huge hole on the outside, and Kutztown able to take advantage of that cover 2 look.
1st and goal from the 8, and the ball thrown out of the back of the end zone.
You can see
the intended receiver, and it was Novak just trying to get rid of that football quickly.
On that one, and you can see Kutztown certainly watched that game tape from last week. If you think back to that Clarion game, that was one of the touchdowns that Clarion was able to score, was throwing that corner route to the slot wide receiver once they get down in the red zone. We know the outside wide receiver likes to run that shorter route. You want to pull that corner down, and you got that one-on-one matchup between the slot wide receiver and the safety. Try to throw that corner out, but that time Novak just a little bit too much pepper on the ball.
3 timeouts left for the Golden Bears, so the entire playbook open to them right now. 2 receivers on the far side, 1 coming in motion. That is Amorum. Now goes back to the right. Shotgun formation. Novak back to pass, looking left. He's got Burkhart wide open in the flats, and he is able to basically walk in untouched into the end zone. And right now you can see the frustration on the Shepherd defensive side of the football. A couple of different players with their palms up in the air going, what happened there? And I think they are speaking for all of Ram faithful right now, going, what's going on here on defense? 34-3 right now is Kutztown's lead. Extra point coming up.
And Kutztown sends that wide receiver in motion, and they're doing that for a reason. They want to see if the defense is in man coverage or in zone coverage. And once Novak saw that somebody was trailing that man in motion, he knew he had man coverage, and nobody switched off to pick up the running back coming out of the backfield. That's an easy throw and catch for a veteran signal caller like Novak.
Campbell's extra point up and good. 43 seconds remaining in the first half. It's a 35-3 lead for Kutztown over Shepherd. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
I love it when people ask me which of the Skinner brothers is younger.
I love it when people ask me, who's taller?
I love it when people get us confused.
You do? Really?
No.
At least they're not confused about what the Skinners do.
If you're hurt and almost heaven, dial the 7s. 304-777-7777.
SkinnerWins.com.
This is Cody with Cody's Auto Body. The stories are on the way. Reliving glory days, the injury that prevented stardom, or the inevitable, I even could have made that play. With football season comes a lot of delusion of greatness. Well, no one believes you would have made it in the big leagues. Let's at least make them think you're a good driver. Bring that vehicle to me and I will make it the pride of the parking lot at every game. I'm Cody with Cody's Auto Body, the MVP of your season. That's Cody's with a T for trust.
Nick and Jazeer and Malachi Brown set to return the kick off of the right foot of Will Smith on the kickoff. Different kicker doing the kickoffs than doing the extra.
Today they were going to need some big plays out of their special teams, but Kutztown, again, shutting that water off.
Swinehart in the backfield with Hardyway. Hardyway back to pass, looking up the middle, just has to dump it off. He does have Swinehart out of the backfield up near the 23, 24-yard line, but nowhere else. 25 seconds on a running first-half clock. Shepherd going to use that hurry-up offense, but not using a timeout. Ball at the 24-yard line. As Hardyway adjusts the offensive set, moves Malachi Brown outside to the near side. Hardyway over the middle. That one caught over the middle, and that's Batten with the reception, and that's enough for a first down up to the 32-yard line. 10 seconds remaining in the first half. Now that running clock, they got about one play left. Hardyway takes a snap, looking over the middle. He's got Lanza. Flag comes in as Lanza gets over the 40-yard line, and the clock hits 0. We'll see what the penalty is coming in on that far side. It's a defensive penalty. Shepherd should get one untimed down to end the half.
And the referee threw it pretty quick. Like as soon as the ball was snapped, he threw the penalty. So possibly somebody lined up in the neutral zone.
And Shepherd moving up the field. Ball now at the 41-yard line. And we do have either an offside or a neutral zone called on the Kutztown defense. So it'll be one untimed down. Ball at the 37-yard line for Shepherd. Still in their own territory. We'll see what Rob Ambrose has dialed up on the final play of the first half. There is a snap. Hardyway back to pass. Looking to get rid of it. He does. It's Batten who has the catch across midfield. Not enough to score, enough for a first down and add some yards to that first half stat sheet. But a first half that could not be more dominant than Kutztown was. 35-3, their lead here in Shepherdstown. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will recap the first half and then get into our halftime scoreboard show. Again at the half, it is the Kutztown Golden Bears leading your Shepherd Rams. 35-3. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti.
If you've been injured in a car accident, there are 3 things you need to know.
1, do not discuss your accident with an insurance company before you talk to a lawyer.
2, on average, car accident victims with a lawyer get over 3 times more money than those without one.
And 3, at Mansion Ferretti, if we don't win, you don't pay us, guaranteed. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
When it comes to providing you with a better car buying experience, CMA's Honda of Winchester takes it personally. Why? Because we're employee owned. That makes us neighbors. And good neighbors take care of each other. Come experience the honesty, transparency, and value we provide every customer, every neighbor, each and every day. At CMA's Honda of Winchester, owners just care more about you.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How can I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm John Everson, Private Wealth Advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Beckett Surf Law Offices. 50 years experience. No fees unless we collect money for you. Always here to help you. Any questions? LawPBM.com.
We welcome you back to Monty Cater Field at Ram Stadium. We are in Shepherdstown, West Virginia. It's the home opener for the Rams and not going the way anybody in attendance other than the Kutztown faithful in front of us wanted this first half to go. It is all Golden Bears, 35-3 after one half of play. This is the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm halftime show brought to you by the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to WVJusticeLawyers.com PSAC.com. Travis, it hasn't been overly pretty at times this year, but I don't think anybody was expecting the first half to look like this.
No, I mean, Shepherd, although they are 0-3 coming into today's game, they have been competitive. There has been some doubt going later into the later stages of the game of how the outcome might be. And so far today, everything has fallen flat. There's been a couple positive plays here and there, but it has just been an avalanche for the goal in favor of the Golden Bears so far. A couple of just unconscionable turnovers deep in their own territory, set up a couple of easy touchdowns for Kutztown, and this is a team that doesn't need any help scoring any points. They're averaging 43 points per game, and they're not too far off that average just here in the first half. So Shepherd, we know that they've had some persistent problems on the defensive end. They have reared their ugly head again here early on, and on offense, they've just had difficulty staying out there on the field, and we knew Kutztown, they're going to be tough in all three phases of the game, and they have certainly lived up to that billing so far here in the first half. So Shepherd, you know you didn't have an easy task coming into today's game, and it's certainly not going to be any easier here in the second half. You do get the ball to start things off in the second half, and right now every possession is critical if you're hoping to chip away at this gigantic lead and possibly get back into the ball game. But right now it is not looking good for Shepherd.
First half for Shepherd this year in games, they've been outscored 58-51. So you're looking at about a touchdown difference there, meaning in the first half they've been in almost every ball game. In the second half, that's where the struggles have come in, being outscored 62-42. So you're looking at about almost a 3-touchdown difference in the second half, and those numbers are going to have to flip-flop if they want to try to step their way back into this ball game. But like you said, it is going to be one play at a time, one possession at a time. A 35-3 deficit would certainly be a turnaround and a upset for the ages if they're able to come back in this one, but still a full half of football left to play here in Shepherdstown. This is the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm halftime show. We're going to send it back to the studio. Kyler High is going to have some scores from around Division II football, the PSAC, the Mountain East, and also some updates on some of those Division I games of interest. We are at the half here at Ram Stadium, 35-3. Kutztown leads Shepherd. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows, whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
After a car accident, call the local law firm that can give you the help you need right now.
Get more with Mansion Ferretti, the one with 115 years of combined experience fighting for West Virginia accident victims. Get more with Mansion Ferretti,
the one that takes on the big insurance companies.
Get more with Mansion Ferretti. We're Mansion Ferretti.
After a car accident, we'll fight for every dollar you deserve. And if there's no recovery, there's no fee. So call right now.
Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
This is Cody with Cody's Auto Body. The stories are on the way. Reliving glory days, the injury that prevented stardom, or the inevitable, I even could have made that play. With football season comes a lot of delusion of greatness. Well, no one believes you would have made it in the big leagues. Let's at least make them think you're a good driver. Bring that vehicle to me and I will make it the pride of the parking lot at every game. I'm Cody with Cody's Auto Body, the MVP of your season. That's Cody's with a T for trust.
Welcome in here to the halftime show, brought to you by Dignity Memorial, Rosedale Funeral Home and Cemetery. Attention to detail like no other. Visit dignitymemorial.com. As you're watching the Shepherd game, not going the way that Shepherd would like it to. as you've got the score of 35-3 at the halftime. Shepherd does get the ball, though, at the start of the half, with Kutztown taking the ball in the beginning of the half in the first quarter. Other scores around the I almost said EPAC. That's the Friday night. We're on Saturday. We're talking about the PSAC games. Around the area, you have Clarion, who Shepherd played last week, winning against Edinburgh 20-0. Westchester is beating Millersville 14-7. Indiana University out of PA and the PSAC is beating Sentinel Hill 13-0. East Stroudsburg and Lock Haven are tied at 7 apiece. Bloomsburg and Shippensburg are tied at 0 in the first quarter, and then California, PA, and Slippery Rock play tonight at 6 o'clock. Those are all the games in the PSAC. You have the Mountain West scores as well. You've got University of Charleston playing against Glenville State. Those two teams are tied up at 7 apiece. You also have West Liberty playing Concord, with Concord up 7-0 in the first quarter. Both of those games in the first quarter with the 7 minutes left. You've got Fairmont State versus West Virginia State playing at 1:30. So post-game show, I'll be able to give you a better update for that one. Frostburg State and West Virginia Wesleyan playing at 7 p.m. tonight. Other schools around the area, you have Notre Dame versus Arkansas for D1. Arkansas came up 3-0 in the first. They put up the first points of the game. Now it's 28-10. Notre Dame is winning that game. Cincinnati versus Kansas. Cincinnati is winning that game 17-13, as Cincinnati's kind of getting a revenge for West Virginia, if you want to look at it that way, as Cincinnati is, like I said, beating them 17-13. Louisville, Pittsburgh. Don't like Pittsburgh around here, except for the Steelers if you're me. Pittsburgh beating Louisville 17-7 at second quarter with 5 minutes left until halftime there. You got 3:30 games. You've got West Virginia playing Utah. Hopefully West Virginia can have a bounce-back week, so it'll be a tough game against Utah, though. Another 3:30 game, you have Ohio State at Washington, the number 1 team going in there and looking to continue a streak that they got going on. LSU, number 4 LSU versus number 13 Ole Miss. So that'll be interesting for sure to see if Ole Miss can pull up an upset. Later on tonight at 8 p.m., you have Marshall versus the Raging Cajuns, Louisiana University. Other games tonight, you've got Oregon versus Penn State, which will be a really good game as Penn State has their white out and Oregon's wearing them mummy uniforms, which should glow in the dark. At least that's what they're advertising. Another game that you have at 7:30 tonight is Alabama at Georgia. Go Dogs, if I must say so myself. I am a big Georgia fan. Another game in the area of you like JMU football. JMU plays Georgia Southern at 1:30. Another game that you've got is a Virginia rival at 6 p.m. You've got Liberty versus Old Dominion. That game is at 6:30, but like we said, Shepherd losing right now, but they get the ball at half, 35-0 against the number 5 Kutztown team in the PSAC. Like I said, let's show you if we can get any more updates on the PSAC teams. So I'll try to get that for you, see if the internet wants to work. And of course, it's being slow. Technology. I apologize for this little delay. Westchester is up 14-7. That is the start of the third quarter. They're either going into halftime or starting the third quarter. East Stroudsburg and Lock Haven both still tied up at 7. Clarion and Edinburgh still 20-0 at halftime or second quarter. Apologies. IUP is still beating Sentinel Hill 13-0. Bloomsburg, Shippensburg still 0-0. And now we will send it back to the field for some more halftime stats and more halftime talk, and you'll get to hear from Coach McCook on the other side of this break. I'm Kyler High, TV 10. Have a great one. I'll see you post-game.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. We have been challenged to sell 20 new and used vehicles each and every day for the rest of the year. This means you save thousands. Hagerstown Ford is the largest Ford store on the I-81 corridor, ranked among the top dealerships in the country in sales volume and customer satisfaction. If you are even thinking about buying a new car, now is the time. Visit HagerstownFord.com and choose your new ride, and we will bring it to you. You will sign all the documents from your phone and skip that awful finance process that consumes your entire day in the dealership. Let's recap. Hagerstown Ford must sell 20 vehicles a day. You will sign all the documents from your phone on your time. We will bring your new ride to you, and you're done. It's that easy. If you don't like it, return it. Our return policy is better than Walmart, and our buying experience is better than Amazon. And you save thousands. Hagerstown Ford is the #1 Ford store from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C., from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland. Now, we want to be the #1 Ford store in the nation.
Hagerstown Ford, right off Interstate 81, across from the Valley Mall.
Someone asked me, who's the brains behind Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers?
And what did you say?
I said it was a team effort. Everyone works together to win for our clients.
Well, that's true and very noble of you.
But I could still beat you in cornhole.
You're on. If you're hurt and almost heaven, dial the 7s. 304-777-7777.
SkinnerWins.com.
Welcome back into the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm halftime show, brought to you by Mansion Ferretti Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's back seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com. 35-3, your halftime score, and for Shepherd, really not able to do anything offensively, and short fields, turnovers are going to be the storyline of this first half. Just how we got here with 4:48 remaining in the first quarter. Kutztown able to get on the board, a 9-yard pass from Novak to Burkhart. 10-play, 84-yard drive, 5 minutes and 12 seconds off the clock, and then it was a 10-yard run by Jaden Stewart with 4:10 remaining in the first quarter. That was after a first down turnover. That was a lateral pass that Shepherd just not able to fall on. Malachi Brown just kind of watching it float about the 15-yard line. A quick 14-0 lead, and at that point you're going, okay, Shepherd's really got to try to figure this out. The ensuing offensive drive, a snap that goes through the hands of the punter, Deshaun Alexander. And
one thing that the coaches are really going to be looking for is like, hey, who wants to be here? Who wants to play football for Shepherd? You're at home. You still got your fans out there in the stands. You still have your family out there. You still have something to play for, so that's something that you're looking at. Conversely, you look over in the locker room for Kutztown, what you're looking for as a coach is, okay, you have a good lead right now. You probably don't want to call the dogs off just yet, but now you're starting to formulate a plan as far as working in some of your backups. You see some of these teams that have successful programs, one of the things that they're able to do in situations like this is develop their depth. You can get young guys into the game, and you can still get them into the game even though it's kind of mop-up duty at this point. You can get them into the game a little bit sooner than you normally would, and that way they have a chance to get to some live reps versus the opponent's number one, where there's still a little bit of meat left on the carcass. So you still have both teams that have a lot to play for here in the second half. Just curious to see if Shepherd is going to be able to come out and make something happen here in the second half where they have some positive that they can point to going into next week's ball game. But just an uphill battle, to say the least.
Shepherd starting to make their way back onto the field. Kutztown, their warm-ups as well. Hall of Fame day here at Ram Stadium. Some celebrations going on at midfield. We're going to be joined by our sideline reporter, Wyatt Pelicano, here in just a moment. He'll have Shepherd head coach Ernie McCook. And not a very fun conversation Wyatt's about to have with Coach McCook down 35-3. But we'll see what the message was to the team at the half, and what adjustments are going to be made in the second half. And you go 0-3 on your way to what looks like probably 0-4 if you're Shepherd. You're going to try to scratch the surface and see what kind of depth you have as well, and see what can work. And at this point, I think just about every position's up for grabs, especially on that defensive side of the football. Like, what do we have to do to try to get some stops in this football game?
You want to see who's still in the fight? Who wants to compete? And that's going to be valuable. If you're looking to have any success this season, those are going to be the guys that you can turn to. Those are going to be the guys that you can rely on as this season plays out. Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way, and you're going to have to find out who's going to be that guy that's going to step up when the adversity is punching you right in the face. And Shepherd certainly got punched in the face here in the first half.
No doubt about it. As we see Coach McCook coming out of the locker room, we will get Wyatt here in a moment down with Coach McCook as the Hall of Fame celebrations finishing up at midfield. And both teams getting ready for the second half of action here at Ram Stadium. Let's look at some of the stats while we're waiting on Coach McCook with Wyatt. In the first half, 120 yards in the air for Kutztown. Obviously doing a very good job just kind of managing the game. And when you look at running the football, not a whole lot going for Kutztown. I mean, 80 yards. With this kind of a team, you might expect a little bit more for that, but they didn't really have to. It came down to situational football and what they were able to do. Alrighty, it does look like we do have Wyatt, who is getting ready to grab a Coach McCook at half, and I believe he just got the stiff arm a little bit. Coach McCook wanted a couple of words with a couple of his players before we get going, so we will continue with stats here from the first half. Jaden Stewart, 4 carries, 43 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Kutztown in that first half. Stephen Burkhart, 17 yards running the football, but has also had 17 out of the backfield catching the football as well, and 2 receiving touchdowns in the first half. For Shepherd, Grant Swinehart, 53 yards on the ground. For Jordan Barnett, just 27 yards in that first half on the ground. And Mike Hardyway, 9 for 14 in the first half, 86 yards. All righty, it looks like we do have Wyatt down with head coach Arnie McCook. Wyatt, take it away.
Did you guys get that?
Now, a little technical difficulties down on the field. We will talk with Coach McCook. We'll talk with Coach McCook after the game. A little technical difficulties there with Wyatt down on the sideline as we're getting ready for the second half of action. 10 seconds on the halftime clock. And our halftime show brought to you by the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com. Looks like we have some warm-ups going on the far side. You see Ezra Bajent throwing the football in warm-ups, and that's not out of the ordinary. Definitely something that happens every game, but you don't wonder if you're not going to see number 13 jog in the game at some point in the second half if the deficit remains as it is. 35-3 currently as we're getting ready to start the third quarter. Shepherd going to get the football back, so a opportunity to start moving the right direction, trying to chip away at this lead, but they need 7. Right now, field goals aren't going to do much for you, and punting the football away, obviously just taking a step in the wrong direction.
Well, you can look at it this way. It's nothing but positives are ahead of you. Nothing but positive opportunities are ahead of you here in the second half. Everything that could have went wrong in that first half, so you need to shake it off, put it behind you, and see if you can stack together some positive plays here in the second half just to have something to look at on the game tape.
Smith with the second half kick. It's Nickens Yazir taking it at the goal line. He's to the 10-yard line, cuts back from the near side of the 15, gets across the 20, and a flag comes in on the back end as he gets to the 35-yard line, the best return of the day. But a flag coming in certainly in the area that it might come back.
It was a big pile of bodies over there that Nickens Yazir was able to negotiate his way around, but again, guys are trying to make a play for a teammate, and it's been that kind of game for Shepherd so far. Going to be holding versus Shepherd, and their best return is going to get backed up.
Second half kickoff brought to you by the personal injury attorneys Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson. Visit burkeandschultz.com. We play hardball. Our referee's moving the football back. It'll be a half the distance to the goal penalty where that flag was thrown. So football going back inside to the 9-yard line. And talk about field position. That's one thing we didn't really touch on in the halftime show, but field position not great for the Rams in that first half. Didn't start a drive beyond their 20-yard line.
And you can't get more extreme than what we saw in the first half. Kutztown setting up on a short porch for most of today's game, and Shepherd pretty much having the length of the field to drive after those kickoff returns. So sledding doesn't get any easier here in the second half for the Rams.
First down and 10. Shepherd at their own 9. Shotgun formation for Hardyway. He sends Ashby in motion. He's going to give it to Ashby around that far side. He goes across the 10-yard line and taken down right around the 12. Let's make it a gain of 3 on first down. You would imagine a lot of movement on the ground, which we expected coming into this game, but you have a 35-3 deficit. I can't imagine Kutztown putting it in the air a whole lot in the second half. But right now it's Shepherd football. Second down and 6. They mark it at the 13-yard line. Hardyway in the shotgun, looking right back to pass. Nowhere to go. He's going to tuck and run and get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a half yard more, but not much, and a quick third down and long coming up for the Rams.
That was Jason Fermaint, the 6', 235-pound redshirt junior defensive lineman. Did a good job. They collapsed the pocket, and Hardaway, showing that he has athleticism, did a good job of climbing up in the pocket, but just the defense was able to collapse and hold him to a minimal gain.
3 receivers to the near side of the formation. It is Swinehart in the backfield with Hardyway, and whistles blow by our officials. Stop play, and after a brief pause, let's get back to 3rd and 6. Swinehart in the backfield with Hardyway. To his left. Hardyway drops back to pass, looking left. Now scanning all of his options. He's going to dump it off out of the backfield, and catch made on the far side. Looking to see, and that was Batten on the reception. Doesn't look like he has enough for the first down. And Shepherd going to have to punt the football away at this point, or this junction of the game and this part of the field. I think any further up you almost go for on 4th and short right here, but not inside the 20-yard line. This one you got to hope your defense has made some adjustments at halftime and see what they can do. Deshaun Alexander able to get this one away, a spiraling kick and a booming kick. It's going to push the return man, Crisilla, back inside the 25-yard line, makes a few men miss. He's across the 30 to the 35 where he is taken down. Booming kick, but almost kind of out-kicking your coverage there if you're Deshaun Alexander.
Yeah, he unleashed a rocket. You knew we know he has a big leg. It's some of the other areas of his game where he's been having some trouble that's kind of limited those opportunities for him, but he just unleashed a rocket on that play.
All right, we're going to send it back down to Wyatt to see if he can give us a little recap of what he heard from Coach McCook at the halftime break. Wyatt? Still some technical difficulties with our sideline. Mike will try to catch up with Wyatt in the second half. First down and 10. Give up the middle. Is that Burkhart? It is, as he gets up to the 35-yard line, maybe the 36, stumbling forward into a host of Ram tacklers.
That time, Aiden Willis able to stack up the ball carrier and get a tackle for a minimal gain. And we know Shepherd likes to use their depth on the defensive side of the ball, and they're in an opportunity now. Again, they want to see who wants to compete, who's going to stay in the fight, and who are going to be the guys that we can rely on when things start going the wrong way. So opportunities abound for this Rams defensive unit.
They will say no gain on the play. Second down and 10. Kutztown still at their own 35-yard line. Novak back to pass, immediately pushed to his right, will launch it downfield and throws it out of bounds. Brings up 3rd down and 10, so Shepherd starting strong on the defensive side of the football.
And again, Muley out there on the edge. He's given a lot of trouble to that big left tackle, Schernicke, for Kutztown. Muley did a good job using that dip, but again, you don't have to dip too far when your left tackle is 6'8". So Muley, no small guy himself, able to use that low center of gravity to get underneath the big left tackle for the Golden Bears.
Kutztown 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions in the first half. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side of the formation. Shotgun, it's Burkhart in the backfield with Novak. Novak drops back to pass, a quick out route, and that one hits the turf. The intended receiver was Noah Crisilla. And Shepherd's defense showing strong on the first appearance they have of the second half, forcing a 3-and-out, and Shepherd going to get the football back.
That time forcing Novak to get rid of the ball a little bit quicker than he wanted to. That time Muley not rushing off the edge. They use a stunt. They move him inside to try to get a little pressure in the quarterback's face, and that time Novak having to get rid of the ball before his receiver was ready for it. And again, a good 3-and-out for that Shepherd Rams defense. And now let's see if this Rams offense can add to that positive play.
And did you expect 2 passes on that opening drive of the second half?
I did not.
I certainly did not either. Kick goes to about the 28-yard line. Fair catch caught there by Batten. And let's see what Shepherd's offense can do on their second offensive possession of the second half.
And it may be something on Kutztown's sideline where they're thinking, well, let's work on some things, where they're not going to go out there. They know that they can move the ball when they stick to their bread and butter type of plays. Now you're in this blowout situation. Now you can reach a little bit deeper into your bag of tricks. Maybe you got some ideas or some concepts where you're trying to work out the bugs, and you have an opportunity to do against an opposing team's number one. So it may be something where that's what they're looking to do. Possibly, we talked about depth. Maybe they're also looking to expand their playbook a little bit.
Hardyway back to pass, looking across the right side, and that one broken up on the near side. Intended receiver was a 88. That was Troy Wollaston.
Troy Wollaston, and not too often you see a tight end running a wheel route. He had to wait on it. He did have the outside leverage on the defender, and he had to wait on that pass a little bit from Hardaway. If that ball's delivered on time and on target, he's able to catch that and probably keep running a little bit before the defender's able to bring him down. So the opportunity was there. Shepherd just has difficulty just making those type of connections.
Swinehart jogs off the field as we see a different look at running back now. That's Zion Grantham in the backfield. 3 receivers to the far side of the formation. Hardyway drops back to pass, nowhere to go, just has to tuck it and try to avoid a sack, but not able to do so. A loss of 1 as he is taken down in the backfield.
And again, just a good job of getting that rush upfield. Mikey Gray, we've said his name a couple times today. Very active defensive front for Kutztown. Just applying some pressure, and you're starting to see Hardaway. From time to time, he will have some happy feet back there in the pocket. Still had a little bit of a pocket, but they were starting to get upfield, got a little bit nervous, and tried to pull it down and escape, and wasn't able to get free of the defender's grasp.
Grantham stays in the backfield to the left of Mike Hardyway. Hardyway looking to pass. Fires across the middle. That one caught and moving back near the sticks, but enough for a first down. Great catch and run by Cordell Batten on the reception and the first down Rams.
Batten doing a good job of working back towards the football. You don't want to sit there. Their quarterback sees you. You don't want to give the defender an opportunity to poke his hand in there. So a good veteran move by the wide receiver to work back to the ball, secure that catch, and pick up a much-needed first down for Shepherd.
He's getting a little nervous there. Momentum carrying him back pretty quickly near that first down marker, but he was able to dig his feet in and fall forward for about a gain of 11 on that one. Ball up to the 40-yard line. Shepherd still in their own territory. Hardyway back to pass, looking across the middle. That one up in the air, jump ball, and falls to the turf, nearly intercepted. It was a rocket to Batten off of his fingers, and that ball hung in the air for what looked like about an eternity from our vantage point. A couple of different Golden Bear defenders had their hands on it, but nobody could bring it in. It brings up a stressful second down and 10. Everybody can take a breath.
Austin Lehman was one of those defenders that had an opportunity to get the ball. Also, Noah Kinsey, and they're over there playing volleyball back and forth with the football as it falls harmlessly to the turf.
Barnett is the tailback pistol formation. 2 tight ends come to this near side. And a quick little shovel pass, and that is Roman Pearson, who turns the corner and gains a couple.
And the Rams lucky to avoid a penalty on that play. It looks like there were several guys moving before the snap of the ball. And now setting up for a 3rd and long. Looks like the rain has subsided. But the Rams certainly stuck in the middle of the storm against this Golden Bears defense.
They give Pearson 1 on that rush to the outside. 3rd down and 9. Barnett in the backfield with her, make that Swinehart in the backfield to the left of Hardyway. He's going to stay in as a blocker. Pass across the middle, and that one caught on this near side, and that's enough for a first down. Good catch by Nick and Jazeer. First time we've called his name on the offensive side of the football today. Able to watch that one all the way in, fall forward for a first down.
There you go. Able to have the smaller wide receiver. Shepherd using that stack look on the outside. So you're hoping that that wide receiver that is on the line of scrimmage can kind of clear a path and run the defense off. And Nick Jazeer was able to find that open spot in the zone, show his number to the quarterback, and Hardaway able to deliver the ball one time and on target.
1st and 10, Shepherd in Kutztown territory at the 45-yard line. Hardaway back to pass. It's Swinehart across the middle at the 40-yard line, turning upfield, gets inside the 40 down to the 38, and a good gain on a first down, gain of 7. Bring up a second down and short.
And Ashby on the play, doing a good job of that shallow drag, coming across the formation. He was lined up tight to the formation, and then he was able to get down the field just about linebacker depth. But by that point, the players on the wide receivers on that play side able to clear out the defense, and just an easy pitch and catch for Hardaway connecting with Ashby.
2nd down and 3. Shepherd's offense moving on their second drive of the second half. Swing pass out to Swinehart in the backfield, and nowhere to go as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1. Brings up a 3rd down and 3.
Kutztown all over that play, pretty much taking away all the options. You could tell that Hardaway wanted to sell that pump fake to Swinehart to try to pull the defense up. Possibly one of those Ram wide receivers could slip down the field for a big play. Kutztown all over it, forcing Hardaway to take the check down, throwing it to Swinehart. And again, once again, the defense doing a good job of rallying up and making the tackle, limiting those yards after the catch.
Pistol formation, they give us to Swinehart right up the middle, bounces off a few tacklers, and I believe he should have just about enough for a first down, and he does. It's first down Rams.
Some tough running today for Swinehart, showing why he's one of the standouts on this offensive unit. It just might be too little, too late, even though we still have 2 quarters of football left. It's just, at this point, Kutztown has just outpaced Shepherd in all aspects of the game.
1st down and 10, ball at the 35-yard line. Shotgun snap for Hardaway, looking to his left. That ball's caught on the outside. That's Lanza with the catch and run inside the 30, down near the 27, 28-yard line is where they will mark him down.
Lanza's been a pleasant surprise for this Rams offense here the past couple of weeks, and just being able to use your tight end in the passing game is such a good catalyst to positive plays on the offensive side of the ball, creates those matchups, makes the defense answer some difficult questions. Are my linebackers fast enough to check him, or are my defensive backs big enough to try to handle the tight end?
And Lanza goes 6'5", 235 as the redshirt freshman. Give us to Swinehart, a little hesitation, waiting for a hole to open up in front, and nothing did other than a host of tacklers coming in for Kutztown. 3rd down and short coming up, about a 3rd down and 3.
The big defensive lineman, Kyrie Butler, we've said his name several times. They got him listed at 285. I believe that measurement may be just a little bit generous as he's anchoring that defensive line.
First down marker is the 25, and that and more for Batten as he makes the reception and turns upfield, gets inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line. The Rams in the red zone.
That time, Austin Lehman in on the coverage, and Shepherd trying to make something happen.
And showing a little tempo, is getting to the line quick. Handing the ball off to Grant Swinehart. He'll gain 3, bringing up 2nd down and 7. Ball now at the 15-yard line. And Shepherd definitely showing a little more tempo as they get further into this drive.
And that's the thing. You need positive plays. You need first down in order for you to try to play this style of football. Bad snap.
Low snap, and Hardaway just going to take it himself. He was running arm in arm with Swinehart for a few steps, and then Swinehart just turned into a blocker, and for a low snap, it ended up turning into a quarterback draw. He gained a few yards on that.
Smart play, something happens and something crazy happens. You have an opportunity to make a positive play, and Hardaway, again, that's one of the benefits of having a veteran signal caller back there. You realize that not every snap is going to be on the money, and you have to have the situational awareness to at least come away with something positive, put yourself in a 3rd and manageable.
3rd down, 5 to go. Ball at the 13-yard line. Need the 8 for a first down. Play action pass going into the end zone and well out in front of the intended receiver. Hardaway just trying to get rid of it before he took a big lick. The intended receiver was Malachi Brown. Brings up a 4th down and 5. And looks like the Shepherd offense going to stay on the field.
And Shepherd, they tried to set up in the first half where they would motion over, shift over, I should say, the tight end and that wing, and then you show that jet sweep action to that side. We knew that wrinkle was going to come eventually, and that time Shepherd trying to use that play to draw the defense out of position and throw something to the back of the end zone. But again, Kutztown was ready and waiting for that counterpunch.
Shepherd needs 5 for a first down, 4th and 5, ball at the 13. Hardaway back to pass, looking right, looking into the end zone, some contact, no flag, and the ball falls to the turf. The intended target was Cordell Batten, and a turnover on downs for the Rams.
Justin Gonzalez was supplying the coverage on that play. Again, a little bit of contact, but it was going both ways, and the referees are going to let them play. And again, Shepherd is trying anything desperately to get back into this ball game, and just those plays and those bounces have not been there for them.
I think if you're Shepherd in the second half, you at least got to find something to hang your hat on. You got to find something offensively and go, hey, while the outcome is not going to be what we wanted it to be, we were at least able to do X, Y, and Z, or X, or at this point, X, right on offense. And we can build on that going into Millersville next week. But so far, I can't really highlight anything that they have consistently been able to accomplish offensively. Novak, a quick slant to the middle and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That was number 11, Luke Zabu.
Zabu, not one of their primary targets coming into today's game, but has certainly emerged as one of those primary targets here early on. And like we mentioned, now Kutztown getting a little bit deeper into their bag of tricks, trying to work on some things, trying to work out the bugs on their offense, realizing that they have a great opportunity to do so in a live game situation.
Shotgun formation for the Golden Bears, 2 receivers to each side of the formation. It's Stewart has the tailback in the backfield. Novak back to pass. He's going to hit Stewart out of the backfield, right at the line of scrimmage, breaks some tackles across the 15-yard line, barrels his way forward to the 17 before he is taken down. Gain of 4 on the play, and he's coming up a little gimpy.
And Mekhi Young was the first defender on the scene to try to trip him up a little bit until the cavalry got there to bring him down, and looks like we do have an injury on the field.
And that is Stewart, who's trying to limp his way back over and just not able to get back to his sideline. Let's go ahead and take a break here, as well a 1-minute timeout, and we're back with 4:04 remaining in quarter number 3. It is Kutztown 35, Shepherd 3. This is Shepherd Ram Football on TV 10.
The 39th Annual West Virginia Breeders' Classic is Saturday, October 11th at the Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. Post time is 7 p.m. Come out early to enjoy Odyssey Band, food trucks, caricatures, and a photo booth. There's 10 races featuring West Virginia's finest thoroughbreds competing for year-end honors and championships. The Breeders' Classic is the Super Bowl for West Virginia horsemen. So get ready for another unforgettable evening at the track for the 39th Annual West Virginia Breeders' Classic.
When it comes to surgery, experience and innovation matter. At WVU Medicine, our board-certified surgeons use the latest robotic and minimally invasive techniques to provide better outcomes and faster recoveries. We offer a full range of procedures, including advanced hernia repair, anti-reflux surgery, breast cancer surgery, colon resection, gallbladder removal, skin cancer, and lesion removal. Trust the region's leader in advanced surgical care. Call WVU Medicine Surgery today at 304-596-2150.
Back out of the timeout, 3 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in quarter number 3, 35-3. Kutztown leading Shepherd in the Rams home opener. Shotgun formation. Novak takes the snap with 3 receivers to the near side, looking left, nowhere to go, going to be flushed out to his right. He's going to keep it across the 20 to the 25, pushed out of bounds a little beyond the 30-yard line. They'll give him the 31. That's enough for a first down, Kutztown.
Novak, he hasn't had to do much today, but is a quarterback that has some scrambling ability. He can certainly extend plays, but not only that, pull the ball down and pick up some yards if the defense doesn't pay attention to him. Again, he doesn't scramble enough where you need to assign a spy, but he can hurt you if you lose track of him in coverage.
Ball at the 31-yard line. Shotgun snap upcoming for the Golden Bears. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. It is Burkhart, the tailback to the left of Judd Novak. Novak takes a snap, It is the give to Burkhart. Right at the middle, breaks through one tackle. He's across 45 to midfield. He's got one man to beat. He's inside the 35 to the 30. 25 before, pushed out of bounds. That was Baden pushing him out of bounds, but not before a big gain down the right side and a strong run for Steve Burkhart.
And that time the read was Vince Fluke out there on that right edge for that Rams defense, and he hesitated a little bit. You have that decision to make. Are you going to work upfield? Are you going to crash down? And he was kind of caught in an indecision, and that time that's the worst thing you can do. At least make the quarterback make a decision, and that time you left that gap to the inside. And Burkhart, you don't need much daylight for him to make plays like that.
Right hash ball at the 22-yard line. First down snap coming up with three receivers to the near side for Kutztown. Novak back to pass, looking right. He's going to fire in the end zone. He's got a man down there. Is he able to make the catch? He is. It's a touchdown. It was Luke Zabo once again. We've called his name a couple of times over the last few drives, and this time it's a touchdown from 22 yards out. 41-3, Kutztown's lead. Extra point coming up.
Zabo's a big target, 6'3", 205, the redshirt junior. And again, Novak just having all day to throw the ball in the backfield. It wasn't so much a great route or a great throw. It's just the fact that Novak has all day to throw the ball. And you have that one-on-one matchup with a big target like that. That's just tough to stop down towards the goal line.
Dakota Campbell on for the extra point. His sixth attempt of the day. 5 for 5 so far on the day. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. 42-3, the Golden Bears all over the Rams here in Shepherdstown. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
Yeah, Robbie, there's a chill in the air, and with fall settling in, it's the perfect time to soak, sweat, and save at Floor Pools. Robbie knows wellness starts at home. Imagine the stress melting away in a Caldera spa with warm hypotherapy jets easing sore muscles, improving circulation, and helping you sleep better. Regular spa sessions can reduce tension, boost mood, and support overall relaxation. Right now, on select Caldera spas, you could save up to $1,500. And don't forget the other half of Total Body Wellness, a Tilo sauna. Regular sauna sessions can boost circulation, support detoxification, ease muscle tension, and promote deep relaxation. For a limited time on select Tilo saunas, you could save up to $1,000. But here's where it gets even better. Robbie says when you bundle a Caldera spa and a Tilo sauna, the savings go even deeper and your wellness routine gets even further. Act now. These savings disappear after September 29th. Stop by Floor Pools today in Chambersburg, Hagerstown, or Martinsburg and let Robbie the Duck guide you to better health, more relaxation, and incredible savings. For details and to explore our full selection, visit floorpools.com. That's Floor Pools, where wellness begins at home.
42-3, Shepherd trailing Kutztown with 2:09 remaining in quarter number 3. Will Smith on to kick it away for the Golden Bears. Nick and Jazier will take it right at the goal line. He brings it out across the 10-yard line in the middle of the field, now cutting back to the near side, crosses the 15, nears the 20, and once again, we've said this pretty much all day, and before getting to the 20-yard line, he is stood up by a host of tacklers, and you got to credit the special teams for Kutztown today. They have not allowed anything on the return game, and you got to credit Will Smith. He has put the ball right at the goal line just about every time.
And he's pinned him in that corner, and then the coverage team just does a great job of flying downfield. Shepherd able to take advantage.
Hardyway once again finds Batten, this time across midfield. He's inside the 45 to the 44-yard line, and that is near the first down marker. Will they give it to him? They will. A fresh set of downs for the Rams.
And again, you need those positive plays in order for you to get into your hurry-up stuff and in your 2-minute package. And right now, Shepherd is trying to do anything they can to try to cobble together a drive.
Two receivers to the far side of the formation. That's where Hardyway looks initially. Now looking back to his right and just throws it over the head of Jordan Barnett. Had to get rid of it. Pressure in his face. 2nd down and 10 coming up with 1:06 left in quarter number 3.
And a good job. He was a good teammate on that play by throwing that ball away, because if he would have tried to put that on target, Barnett would have got smoked that play because Austin Lehman was closing fast. So Hardaway doing a good job of being a great teammate and not selling out his running back on that flare pass. There was nothing to be had on that play. So you throw it away, live to fight another day.
3 receivers to the far side, one of them being the big tight end Lanza, one to the near side. It's Ashby. Barnett in the backfield with Mike Hardyway. Hardyway takes that snap, looking over the middle, finds Lanza, who is knocked down quickly, not even able to get the ball fully into his chest, and shaking his hand on that one. He got a helmet right to the hand as that ball hits the turf, bringing up a 3rd down and 10.
That was Noah Kinsey coming up. supplying the big hit on Lanza, and we complimented Hardaway on the previous play by not getting his running back killed that time. He led his tight end right into the teeth of the defense.
Shotgun snap for Hardaway, looking over the middle. He does have Barnett out of the backfield, who gets to the 35-yard line before taken down. 4th down coming up for the Shepherd offense. And you'd imagine they stay on the field once again, and they do. A couple of subs coming in, including Roman Pearson, who steps into that slot position. Now working back to the left side of the formation. Barnett in the slot to the right. Ashby, the receiver, on this near side of the field. An empty set for Hardaway, who takes the snap looking left across the middle, and early contact as Pearson was the intended receiver. No flag. As look, the defender got there maybe a half step early. But a turnover on downs, and Kutztown going to get the football back. Shepherd just not able to put anything together consistently offensively once again.
And sputtering, again, this has been one of the toughest defenses the past couple of seasons here in the PSAC. Last year, the Golden Bears defense only allowing just over 10 points per game. This year, they've even tightened it up that much more, only giving up a touchdown per contest so far. And right now, that defense ahead of schedule, only surrendering a field goal thus far.
.28 seconds left in quarter number 3. Starters still in offensively for Kutztown. It's Novak in the shotgun formation. Handoff right up the middle. A new running back to call today. It looks like Ben Martin III with that carry up the middle for a couple. Number 42 on your rosters. And it looks like that will be the last play of the third quarter as the Golden Bears come to this near sideline, and Shepherd going to slowly walk to their sideline. And I'm not a body language expert, but that is a defeated football team on the far side of the field right now.
Absolutely, and just the disappointment started early on. Just a couple of miscues, a couple of turnovers deep in your own territory. Kutztown able to jump on it, make the most of those opportunities, and basically just snatched the game out of you before you really even had a chance to get settled in and get settled into a rhythm. And Kutztown, when they're a tough team to beat in any circumstance, but when they're able to get off to a fast start, that's just a tough task for anybody to try to overcome. And Shepherd, they have a reason to not be happy.
And you look at the scoring that Kutztown has allowed this year, and 0 points allowed in the first quarter. 21, now 24 points allowed in the second quarter. It was 21 coming in. Shepherd's field goal in the second quarter. It makes it 24 in the second quarter for their defense given up. 0 in the third quarter, that stays, and 0 in the fourth quarter in this year. So you look at that defense, and while they've been able to do things successfully on the offensive side of the football, the Kutztown defense has really been outstanding this year.
They're a tough defense just in and of their own right, but when you give a defense like that this type of lead, it's just an unfair advantage because now at this point they can just play one-dimensional football because they know you have to scratch and claw to get back into the game, and that's really going to handcuff your play calling.
We're going to try to set it down to Wyatt again after the first play of the fourth quarter. Get his thoughts and what Coach Cook was able to tell him at halftime. His 2nd down and 8 play, incomplete pass on the far side of the field. And let's send it down and see if we can pick up Wyatt on the sideline. Now, still having some trouble with Wyatt's mic down there. We'll try to get him in the post-game show with head coach Ernie McCook. 3rd down and 7 coming up all at the 38-yard line. Novak in the shotgun formation now looks to this near side to adjust the play call a bit, adjust the formation. Is Ben Martin in the backfield with him. He comes out of the backfield. Novak drops back to pass and a curl route right at the sticks and a few yards more. That is Priscilla with the first down reception. Gets into Ram territory and a first down, Golden Bears.
And again, Novak has not had to squeeze the ball in any type of tight windows. He's had plenty of time to pick his targets and throw the ball accurately and on time and get the ball in the hands of your playmakers, and they've been able to make those type of plays.
1st down and 10, Kutztown in Ram territory at the 48-yard line. 3 receivers to the far side of the formation. Tight end to this near side as Priscilla comes in motion as the lone receiver on the right side of the formation. The give is to Martin right at the middle, and he's got a seam. He's inside the 40 to the 35 to 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, dives for the pylon, and is he in? Waiting for the signal. Referee taken down right at the pylon, and he's going to say out right at the 2-yard line, but a heck of a run for Ben Martin III.
Good run, but the offensive line paved the way for him to make that run, running behind the big block of Billy Everett. He was pulling around. He was the backside guard, pulled to the play side, and there was just white jerseys that just gobbled up every Shepherd defender on that play. He ran down the field. He pretty much didn't get touched until he made that play at the pylon. So that Golden Bears offensive line has just been absolutely dominant here today.
I mean, Kutztown faithful below us not agreeing with that spot of the ball, saying they believe he got him. The give is to Martin. He lowers his shoulder and gets into the end zone, this time from 2 yards out. And Kutztown takes the lead 48-3. As Dakota Campbell jogs onto the field, looking to make it 49.
And again, we knew once he got down there inside that 5-yard line, at that point it's pretty much going to be elementary as far as them getting the ball in. The offensive line has just done a good job of just reestablishing that line of scrimmage, pushing back that defensive front. And now it's that type of game where you can really lean on those big uglies up front to impose your will.
Campbell readies for the kick. It is up, and it is good. With 13:09 remaining in the ball game, it was the Ben Martin drive to put Kutztown up 49-3. We are back after this. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
Someone asked me, who's the brains behind Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers?
And what did you say?
I said it was a team effort. Everyone works together to win for our clients.
Well, that's true and very noble of you.
But I could still beat you in cornhole.
You're on. If you're hurt and almost heaven, dial the 7s. 304-777-7777.
SkinnerWins.com.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows, whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
You want to switch back real quick?
13:09 remaining in the ball game. It is Will Smith. Tees it up the 35-yard line and sends it deep. And this one going to be a little shallower. Nick and Jazier takes it. He crosses the 30-yard line to the 35 before taken out of bounds on that far side of the field. And no penalty flags on this return. So a silver lining, a good return for the Rams.
You can see the Golden Bears just, taking a little bit of steam off here with a commanding lead in the fourth quarter. And that was so far the only return of substance for that special teams unit for the Rams. And we knew that was going to be something that they were going to have to rely on today. And much like the defense and offense, they've had their struggles.
Coming into the ball game now, we do have a switch at quarterback. Ezra Bajent making his way into the football game. So the end of the day for Mike Hardyway. The give is to Grantham off the right side. Stumbles forward for a few. Near the 40-yard line up to the 39. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8 coming up. Bajent, the 6-foot redshirt sophomore, goes 185 pounds, Martinsburg High School graduate, and you might recognize that last name. Yes, that is the brother of former Harlan Hill winner and Shepherd all-time great Tyson Bajent.
And Bajent came in a couple of games last year, appeared in 3 games, and finished out the season finale where he went 5 of 9 for 54 yards, filling in for an injured Lek Powell.
And Bajent's first drop back of the year, he is taken down at the 36-yard line in the backfield. And it brings up a 3rd down and long for the Rams. 3rd and 11 coming up.
And that was LaRon Short in on that play. The big 6'3", 245-pound defensive lineman able to get in the backfield and make a play.
Bajan drops back to pass, looking right, going to fire it left now. The intended receiver is Ashby. Did he get a foot down, waiting for the signal? He did. Heck of a catch by Jaden Ashby at the 45, 47-yard line.
And great pocket awareness that time by Bajan. He had a lot of defenders flying around, did a good job stepping up in the pocket, then leaked out to his left and threw an on-target pass to Ashby.
Bajan with Grantham to his left, going to drop back to pass, looking left. Little out route. That is Roman Pearson with the reception at the 35-yard line. Avoids a couple of tackles and gets spun forward down to the 31-yard line.
Looked like Bajan might have had his arm hit on that play by a defender, but still had enough mustard on the ball to get there on time, and Pearson able to make a big play for this Rams offense.
And Martinsburg High Jr. right now with Bajan, Grantham, and Pearson all out on the field. Bajan drops back to pass, fires over the middle. That one caught inside the 20-yard line. And for the second time today, Wollaston with the reception. First down Rams. And Shepherd moving the football. Obviously a bit softer of a look defensively for Kutztown right now. But, again, any positives you can find from this game and kind of hang your hat on if you're Shepherd you're looking for in this game. Snap and Bajan drops it, able to pick it up, rolling to his left. He dumps it off. It's Grantham a little behind him and almost intercepted after going off the fingertips of Zion Grantham, but hits the deck, and second down coming up for the Rams.
And that play was certainly on the high wire. It could have went bad, it could have went good, could have went in so many different directions, and for it to end in an incompletion, probably the best case scenario for Shepherd. It starts out with a bad snap, then Bajan scrambles out of the pocket, looked like he's almost past the line of scrimmage. He throws the ball behind his offensive target, and the ball gets batted up in the air and falls harmlessly to the turf. So that was a bit of a crazy play for it to end up just with an incompletion.
Bajan in the shotgun formation, two receivers each side of the formation. Slant across the middle. That is Pearson who has it and dives inside the 10-yard line. And that's enough for a first down Rams. And you can tell Bajan clapping his hands together. He's getting in a little bit of a rhythm. A little bit different play style from Hardy Way. He's going to bounce around a little more in the pocket. He's going to try to move around a little more in the pocket and throw on the run. And we see some quick passing in his first drive. Pearson on this near side. Grantham, the running back, next to Bajan in the backfield. Sends a man in motion. That's Batten. Bajan looking in the corner of the end zone, and that one caught a wide-open receiver. And once again, it is big number 88, Troy Wollaston, and Shepherd in the end zone for the first time today.
And again, another bobbled snap. The ball's coming back a little bit funky. Bajan did a good job of just corralling it. And I think just that little bit of a bobble in the backfield was enough to throw off the defense. And Wollaston was able to sneak behind the defense for a wide open touchdown and a much needed positive play for this Shepherd Rams ball club.
Max Barta on for his first extra point of the day. 49-9 currently. Extra point away from 49-10. It is up, and it is good. We have 10 minutes left in the ball game. Shepherd finds the end zone for the first time in this one. We're back after this break. It's 49-10. Kutztown leading Shepherd. This is Shepherd Ram Football on TV 10.
Get ready to rumble! In this quarter, weighed in at 7 ounces, Rock's Delicious Chicken Sandwich. In quarter number 2, a 1/4 pound Rock's Delicious Burger. Who's the best? You decide.
Brought the beach to you. Get Rock's Crab Cake Sandwich with 70% real crab meat.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
10 minutes left in the ball game. Shepherd trailing Kutztown 49-10. Barta set to kick it off. Sends it deep, and looks like a fair catch called for inside the 10. That it is. Ezra Bajan showing a little spark coming in off the bench as the backup quarterback. I don't think you should read anything into that. At least I wouldn't imagine if you're a Ram fan. I wouldn't read anything into that other than Obviously, just not the day that the Shepherd offense was expecting. You don't want to get anybody hurt necessarily. You want to get some fresh legs out there at this point of the ball game. I would imagine you're going to see some new guys rotate in on defense as well. And if there is another offensive possession, just get some of those younger guys, some of those backups in the ball game, just to avoid any injuries to the starters and just to kind of, in a way, get through the ball game and get into the locker room and start the planning for Millersville next week.
And this is certainly one of those game tapes that you never really want to see the light of day. I'm just like, right now, just go ahead and shut off the cameras. I don't know there's going to be too many positives that you can build on from today's contest.
Looks like we have a new quarterback in for Kutztown as well, Antonino Russo, number 16.
6'3", 210-pound redshirt sophomore from Bath, Pennsylvania.
New running back was Craig Miller as well to his right. He had that last carry for 2. Remains in the backfield as well, along with a host of new receivers on that far side of the field. Introduce you to those as they get mentioned on the stat sheet. There's the get on the far side, and good defense taken down in the backfield was Craig Miller. That brings up a 3rd down and long, a loss of 4 on that run to the outside.
And that was Tyron Chen Thompson coming up to make the tackle, and Kutztown going a little bit deeper into their backfield than usual. I mean, they go 3 deep. They have Burkhart Stewart. We mentioned Eli Cunningham, the redshirt freshman, has come in supply plays, and they've even gone a little bit deeper than that. Like I said, again, an opportunity for the team that's on top in a blowout to really work on some depth and see who they have that could possibly help them out as the season progresses.
Russo back to pass for the first time in this ball game. Hits his intended receiver at about the 27-yard line. I believe that was an 83. Benny Lyles III, the 5'10 redshirt freshman on the reception from Woolwich Township, New Jersey. Shepherd's going to force a punt as that pass nowhere near the first down marker. Ball up to the 26-yard line. And Batten going to stand right around the 45-yard line on this return. Now backing up even more inside the 40-yard line.
And you've just seen here in the second half, Kutztown, they're aware of the situation that they're in, having a commanding lead, trying to work on some things in the passing game. We know that running game has just been unstoppable so far this season. Work out some bugs in the passing game. Just, again, working on making that complete package.
Batten takes the return at the 31-yard line, works to his right, and is immediately drilled at the 31-yard line and taken down, and that's where Shepherd will start this offensive drive with the football.
Zach Perta flying down the field, making plays, and again, this Cutts team, special teams unit has been playing outstanding. You see why this is just such a tough football team. They have it all 3 phases. They have kickers, they have guys that can cover, they have guys that can return. Just a well-built football team, and you expect them to have continued success this season.
Bajan by himself in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers each side of the formation. He drops back to pass and is swallowed up inside the 25-yard line, back to the 24.
Again, nothing fancy, no type of twist or stunt, but getting pressure back there in the quarterback's face, and that was Blaze Harris able to get back there in the backfield and bring down the quarterback.
Second down and 18 coming up for Shepherd. We know Bajan likes to move around in the backfield. That time, just not enough time to move around. Took his initial drop and immediately with pressure in his face. It's Grantham in the backfield with Bajan, who drops back to pass, looking right, and now he's going to try to scramble moving forward. Avoids a couple of tacklers, now looks downfield and just gets it near Roman Pearson just to get it away. 3rd down and 18 coming up for the Rams.
Bajan just doing an excellent job of just escaping the pressure, getting outside the pocket and throwing that ball away. And if you're looking, there is a monster on that defensive line. Ishmael Dobson coming in at 6'7", 290-pound, the redshirt freshman. So he's going to be around for a while. And if you know you have a quick passing game, you put in a big, tall defensive lineman like that right in the middle, certainly going to see some batted balls during the course of his career.
3rd and 18, ball at the 24-yard line, 2 receivers each side of the formation. Bajan drops back to pass, now working to his left, looking downfield, and over the head of the intended receiver downfield. That was Marcus Nicholson, the intended receiver on the play. Brings up a 4th down and 18, and Shepherd going to punt the football away.
And some flashes you see out of Bajan. He's very comfortable escaping the pocket to his left. He's very comfortable moving to his offhand side. That's not a quality that you see in a lot of quarterbacks. So when he's able to get outside that pocket and you force him to his left, you're really not putting him at the disadvantage because he's able to keep his eyes downfield and try to squeeze it in to his wide receiver on that play. But Kutztown's defense on the back end was tight enough to try to knock that ball to the turf.
Shepherd with a quick personnel change on the far side. Alexander set to get it away. He does. This one a little shorter, bouncing at the 40 and then taking a Shepherd bounce. The return man takes it at the 40, and he's got room to the far side. Gets across midfield and down at the 45-yard line.
And you see Kutztown, they've called the dogs off. They're not sending a rush after the punt. But still, that long snap took a while to get back there to the punter. So if they did put any heat on, they would have had a chance to make a play on that ball. So there's some concerning things that Shepherd's going to have to clean up as they move forward with this season.
That was Trey Hamlin III with that good punt return for Kutztown. And it is going to be Russo coming back out at quarterback.
Because that's something that you can't put in a long snapper's head of you got to take a little bit off to make it easier for the punter to catch it. That's his job to catch it. You've got to fire that thing back there and give him as much time as possible to get the punt off. You can't you can't make his job easier. He's got to be able to do it.
Craig Miller lowering his shoulders inside the 40. Was wrapped up initially after a gain of about 2 and just lowered his shoulders and rumbled forward for another 3 or 4. A flag on the far side of the field. Some extracurricular activities, if you want to call it, on the left side of that offensive line. I do think this probably goes against Kutztown.
Yeah, it's going to go against Kutztown. Weston Knoll was the guilty party. Again, he's over there battling with Shepherd's Elijah Hyson. And after the snap, one of the few things that have gone against Kutztown today. But you figure at this point in the game, things are going to get a little bit chippy, but you don't want things to get out of hand and possibly have some type of suspensions or anything that's going to hurt you later on.
So far this season offensively for Kutztown, 49 already in this game today. Last week, 46. Week 2 against Edinburgh, 34. Week 1 against Assumption, 51. This is a dang good football team.
Yes. I mean, you look at it, I mean, there's really no area that you can key on,
No.
something that you can consider a weakness. I mean, they have it all.
And you look at, we've now seen with them at number 5, Slippery Rock was number 4 and still is number 4. Shepherd played them a few weeks ago. I think the voters have those flipped because I think this is taking nothing away from Slippery Rock, they're a very good football team. I don't see any flaws in this Kutztown team right now.
Yeah.
We saw some of those flaws with Slippery Rock and how they were able to be a little vulnerable as Hill, again to get this carry or make that Craig Miller with the carry across the 50-yard line near the 45. But, yeah, we talk about Slippery Rock, and we saw ways that Shepherd was able to move the ball and be successful against them. We're talking about it, but you can't name a flaw on this Kutztown team, at least that we saw today. And you look at the previous games, clearly they're not messing up too much with those margins of victory.
And Shepherd, they were just able to be the more physical team for 3.5 quarters versus Slippery Rock, and the tide in that game really doesn't turn until Slippery Rock pulls their starting quarterback, puts it into one Owens. And I think that's going to be the tail of the tape for Slippery Rock, is how far that young man can take them, because he is a special commodity to have at that quarterback position. But right now, looks like Kutztown is the team to beat in the PSAC.
3rd down and 12, Miller off the left side. Right now, Kutztown just happy to hand the ball off 3 yards in a cloud of dust and see that clock ticking down as we now reach just about the 5-minute mark in the game. And at this point, Kutztown's hoping they can get out injury-free. Shepherd's hoping they can get out injury-free. And both teams, at this point in the ballgame mentally, it's over. It's done. You're trying to watch those seconds tick away. And for Kutztown, get back in, celebrate a win, get on the bus, head back to Pennsylvania. And for Shepherd, you start the planning of another tough week of practice for this Ram team.
And early on in the season for Shepherd, you wanted to avoid the term a rebuilding season, but if you needed a reminder, you got smacked in the face with it today.
Yeah.
This is a rebuilding season for Shepherd.
Timeout on the field. We will take a 30-second break as well back at the studio. 4:25, or make that a delay of game on the field. Didn't see the flag drop, so a delay of game is they're just going to give their punter a little bit more room. Nate Millard, the punter for the Golden Bears. As the celebration's already kind of starting on the Kutztown sideline. See some high fives, some hugs.
And they traveled pretty well.
Yeah.
Nice weather, a little bit of rain early on, but that barrage of touchdowns didn't scare them away.
And not a bad crowd for the Rams today. Obviously at halftime thinned out a little bit with the rain, but obviously Shepherd not a great start to the season, but Ram faithful showing up today as Batten takes a fair catch inside the 10 at the 9-yard line.
And again, just special teams. They have just been absolutely lights out today. And you thought if you had an area to look to where Shepherd might have had some success, you would look to special teams. Special teams has been playing very well for Shepherd so far this year, but even in that phase of the game, Kutztown is just showing you what type of program that they have.
Ball at the 9-yard line for this Shepherd offensive drive. He ticks over 4 minutes left in the ball game. Kutztown well on their way to going 4-0. Shepherd, a unthinkable 0-4, something we just don't hear in Shepherdstown all that often. Run over the right side, gets up near the 14-yard line, and that was Pearson.
Pearson making the most of his opportunity. He's coming in late in the game, but doing a good job of just finding those open spaces in the zone and being a good target for his quarterback.
Bajan with Grantham to his right, takes a snap, immediately looking right. And that ball
batted down
at the line of scrimmage. And my corrections, it is no longer Grantham in the backfield. It is Ian Malden in the backfield. Number 26 in your programs.
And that was Quentin Fouts getting his big paw up in the air and blocking that pass down. And again, you know the ball's coming out quick. You have a quarterback that's not he's not going to be playing center for any basketball teams anytime soon. So you know the ball's going to be coming out quick. It's going to be low. If you can't get that initial rush, go ahead and put your hands in the air. Maybe you might get lucky.
Bajan drops back, pass, works up the middle of the field, and we see a flag come in the secondaries. Bajan nowhere to go with the football. Does get out of a couple tackles and fires it deep downfield. Skips into the intended receiver and falls incomplete. But again, a flag in the backfield near the 45-yard line. And hats off to Bajan for turning nothing into something there, at least able to get the football away as he was backpedaling and avoiding sacks in the end zone.
And at this area of the field, I wonder if the consideration is it possibly a safety if you have a holding backed up this far. So did the holding occur in the end zone? I think might be the discussion that the referees are having.
Waiting for the official signal as the side judge on this near side picks up his flag. And tapping, I saw an indication of possibly an eligible man downfield, which again, if that occurred with Bajan in the end zone, I think that's the conversation going on now.
Being backed up towards this end zone has been problematic for Shepherd today, and let's see if this mistake is going to result in more points in favor of Kutztown.
Conversation over with Jim Clements.
One on each team. The legal man downfield on the offense. After the play, sideline interference on the defense. First down will be enforced.
All right, so we have an ineligible man downfield on the offense and a sideline interference on the defensive side of the football. As you may have heard in the background, both penalties enforced. So it's going to be one of those, let's
do the tango.
Walk up and walk back, and then walk up again, and then walk back. And
I'm like,
at this point in the game, you're going, all right, can we set the ball down and get this last 2:49 done with? Cause
this is a math problem where you don't need to show your work.
Yes.
I'm like, come on, buddy. It's subtraction where the number is less than 15. We'll trust your judgment on this one.
1st and 10 from the 19. Bajan drops back to pass, looking left, and does fire it deep. That one lobbed to the intended receiver. That was Nick and Jazeer. And that had a little air underneath of it getting to him.
And I think it was something where he saw there was an open spot in the zone where he was trying to throw it and hoping that his wide receiver was going to be able to make that adjustment with the ball in the air. But Nick and Jazeer, he was looking to try to take the top off of the defense. So, again, might be something where there's just a lack of familiarity with how you're going to read and react to certain defensive looks between a quarterback and a wide receiver.
2nd down and 10. Bajan drops back to pass, finds a man on a shallow route underneath, and I think that might be your collision of the game you just saw.
Yes, indeed.
And how about that hit for L.J. Smith, the 6-foot, 195-pound freshman linebacker from Newark, Delaware.
Goodness gracious, you needed to put an exclamation point on the game.
Yeah.
That was it.
Nicholson on the reception there, and he's going to feel that one tomorrow when he wakes up. Driven into the ground at the 22-yard line. And the clock hits 2, so the 2-minute timeout is upon us. We're going to take a 1-minute break back at the studio, then we're back for the remainder of this one. It is 49-10 Kutztown leading Shepherd. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Fort Evans Archery of Inwood is your local full-service archery pro shop with sales and setup, maintenance, repairs, and sight-ins. Fort Evans Archery is a full-stocking dealer for all your favorites like Hoyt, Matthews, Elite, Bowtech, Mission, and Bear, with crossbows from Raven, 10-Point, Barnett, and Excalibur. And Fort Evans Archery has a sight range out to 60 yards. Fort Evans Archery, 998 Ardenelville Road, Suite 2, Inwood, open Tuesday to Friday, 10 a.m. until 6, Saturdays 9:30 to 4. FortEvansArchery.com.
Quickly back to action as the 3rd and 7, the intended receiver was Wollaston again, and he can't hold on to that one. It'll bring up a 4th down pass coming from Ezra Bajan. Had enough for the sticks, but Wollaston not able to haul that one in. And Shepherd going to punt the football away with 1:54 left, and you would imagine that at that point, a couple of runs, sitting on the ball, a couple of snaps, and that should just about wrap it up here from Shepherdstown.
So let's see if we can get a good snap, nice crisp snap, and a clean catch.
Alexander gets it away. Wobbler at about the 40-yard line and returnable across the 50 once again, and a good return. We've seen a couple of good returns by Hamlin now in his limited action here in the 4th quarter, where he's probably got close to 50 to 60 yards of return by now.
That was a good tackle on the play that time by Reggie Snowden. Good hit on the ball carrier, good rip at the ball. Just trying to make something happen for his team. And one of the handful of plays where, one, it was a good long snap. It got back to the punter with velocity. He was able to catch it cleanly. And there's no doubting Alexander's kicking ability, but it's just something where he's got to clean up some of the other things that might not necessarily show up in the stat sheet as far as catching the ball cleanly and getting the ball off quickly. But, again, he needs a crisp long snap in order to do that.
It's Craig Miller in the backfield. Russo is the quarterback. Miller going to get the handoff going off of the right tackle. Leans forward for a gain of 4.
And again, just a big push up front. Like, he really doesn't get touched until the very end of that run. He's able to run 3 or 4 yards before that first defender is able to get a hand on him.
Kutztown letting that play clock get down, and that game clock going to run down to 1:10 now on a running clock. 10 seconds on the play clock. Russo adjusting the offensive line. That give is to Miller off the right side, and he is taken down inbounds at the 38-yard line. No gain on that play is the final seconds in this one. Inching closer, 45 seconds right now on a running 4th quarter clock. Ball at the 37-yard line. They'll give him a gain of a yard. And now back to 38, so it's called a gain of 0 on that play. And one more snap should just about do it as the game clock now under 30. Russo in the shotgun formation. Takes a snap. The give is to Miller right up the gut inside the 35 down near the 32. And both teams going to begin to make their way towards midfield as we see why Kutztown, the number 5 team in all Division II college football, as they will improve to 4-0 on the season. And the Shepherd University Rams, another tough loss and not a 2025 campaign that many folks are going to want to remember. At least the start of it, now dropped to 0-4. Your final here from Ram Stadium, it is Kutztown 49 and Shepherd 10. We're back with the postgame show after this. This is Shepherd Ram Football on TV 10.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
Get ready to rumble! In this quarter, weighed in at 7 ounces, Rock's Delicious Chicken Sandwich. In quarter number 2, at 1/4 pound, Rock's Delicious Burger. Who's the best? You decide.
We brought the beach to you. Get Rock's Crab Cake Sandwich with 70% real crab meat.
Yeah, Robbie, there's a chill in the air, and with fall settling in, it's the perfect time to soak, sweat, and save at Floor Pools. Robbie knows wellness starts at home. Imagine the stress melting away in a Caldera spa with warm hypotherapy jets easing sore muscles, improving circulation, and helping you sleep better. Regular spa sessions can reduce tension, boost mood, and support overall relaxation. Right now, on select Caldera spas, you could save up to $1,500. And don't forget the other half of Total Body Wellness, a Tilo sauna. Regular sauna sessions can boost circulation, support detoxification, ease muscle tension, and promote deep relaxation. For a limited time on select Tilo saunas, you could save up to $1,000. But here's where it gets even better. Robbie says when you bundle a Caldera spa and a Tilo sauna, the savings go even deeper and your wellness routine gets even further. Act now. These savings disappear after September 29th. Stop by Floor Pools today in Chambersburg, Hagerstown, or Martinsburg and let Robbie the Duck guide you to better health, more relaxation, and incredible savings. For details and to explore our full selection, visit floorpools.com. That's Floor Pools, where wellness begins at home.
We've got to be a better football team. We can't make mistakes.
Welcome back to Rams Stadium. We're now going to send it down to the field as we have Wyatt Pelicano down on the field, who just finished talking with Shepherd Ram head coach Ernie McCook. Wyatt?
Yes, we're really not where we need to be. We got to get better in all assets. Get to the grind and keep pushing.
All right, thanks, Wyatt. We'll catch up with him in all the home games this year, we believe, and maybe even some on the road. But obviously a frustrated Shepherd Ram head coach Ernie McCook is not the way he envisioned this 2025 campaign starting as Shepherd drops to 0-4, 49-10, your final here from Ram Stadium. And Travis, we've been able to at least say in each game, okay, this worked, this didn't. Shepherd really just needs to clean up X or clean up X and Y. In this game, you can't really highlight anything as things that, if they did this, this might have been a different outcome. This was just a old school, just up and down the field. Shepherd never really in this football game, and they did it in a way that they put themselves out of the game. Really, it wasn't necessarily in the first half that Kutztown truly beat them. It was more that by the time it became 21-0, you could see on the sideline, it's okay, we've beat ourselves here.
And most of the times that's the way it shakes out in a football game, where you may not win the football game, but a lot of times the game is lost. And I think that's what you touched on. The game was lost there in that first quarter. We know Shepherd can score some points, but getting into a shootout is certainly not in their comfort zone. And Kutztown, even though they don't have a team that has like explosive plays per se, when it comes to their offense, they are able to put up a lot of points, and you're able to see why, because they're able to work on such a short field. Their defense plays well, so they have the field position advantage. Their special teams play absolutely lights out today, so again, they had great field position every time they got the ball, so that way, when you look at Kutztown's offensive numbers, it's nothing gaudy that's going to jump off the page at you. It's because you have those two other phases of your team that are just clicking on all cylinders, and right now this team is just loaded to bear. They're going to expect to make a deep run in the playoffs this year, and you look at it, there are very few weaknesses that you can look at this ball club, and we certainly weren't able to see any of those today. They can do it running the ball. They had success passing the ball, and once they got up big in the game, you could see the things with that's what they wanted to work on to polish up a little bit moving forward. They know they can run the ball. Now they're able to add that passing attack to that already tough run game, and man, just a good football team overall, but Shepherd didn't do themselves any favors with all the mistakes that they had early on. It was just an avalanche of mistakes, and they weren't able to dig themselves out.
And at this point, where do you go if you're Shepherd? Because you've seen really since in the second half and the fourth quarter of the Slippery Rock game, in the second half against Clarion, you've struggled to find answers consistently. In this game, you struggled to find answers from the opening kickoff. So at this point, where do you go if you're the Rams?
That's definitely the $64,000 question right there.
I think $65,000 or $70,000.
Yeah, we can bump it, adjust it for inflation. Man, and that's the thing. There's so many fires to put out at this point, because there's nothing where like you're having an issue and be like, okay, we have that resolved. Let's focus our attention on something else. We're still having this catastrophic breakdowns on the back end of the defense. You saw a lot of confused defensive backs, just safeties and corners looking at each other with their hands in the air. The defensive front having a hard time establishing a foothold against the run, going up against bigger offensive lines. On the offensive side of the ball, you're still having some issues with that quarterback center exchange with the long snap. On special teams, the long snap, there's an issue. They weren't able to get big returns because the blocking was a bit suspect today going up against Kutztown. So just at this point, it's just you have to start with the basics. And with football, you got to get back to those basic elements of running, blocking, and tackling. And then from there, you can start to look around. But you have some good plays as far as the run game is concerned. But really, it's just way more questions than answers at this point for Shepherd.
Our post-game show brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials in a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. All right, let's set up our next broadcast because we're having some issues getting the stats, the final stats here in the press box. So let's go ahead and if we get those, we'll give them to you before we get off the air. We're going to quickly set up our next broadcast, and it is at Millersville. 1 o'clock kick next week at Millersville. 12:30 will be the pregame for our TV10 coverage of Shepherd Ram football. And you got to wonder, and it's what we've talked about the whole really second half, what is the Shepherd team going to look like when we see them next week at Millersville? Because you had to think going into this game, there was a fire lit. You're playing the number 5 team in the country. You really got embarrassed at Clarion last week against a team that, while Clarion is good, not a normally powerhouse in the PSAC.
Certainly not a perennial power.
Yeah, and you're still reeling from the way you lost that Slippery Rock game. So it's your home opener. You got to think that there's a fire lit under this team, and there's a lot of energy for this game that immediately went out when opening kickoff and that first drive. So you look at this and go, how do you get yourself back up for this Millersville game? And Millersville, it's a close game. It's always going to be one of those games that on paper Shepherd should historically go out and win this football game, but this is not historically the Shepherd team that we're used to seeing. So it'll be interesting to see how Coach McCook, how offensive coordinator Rob Ambrose, how defensive coordinator Josh Klein can really get these guys motivated, and how motivated they're going to be with an 0-4 record traveling on the road to take on Millersville next week.
And again, we've all made that trip up to Millersville, and I haven't checked the weather report, but
it's going to rain, I promise you.
It's going to rain. It's going to be a torrential downpour, so let's go ahead and throw that into the mix and prepare for that. So make sure you have your parkers and your raincoats ready to go. And it's at this point, the Rams have to treat this next game like it's their Super Bowl. They have to go in with the mentality of it's do or die, because It is. I mean, you're going into you're at 0-4. You certainly don't want to be 0-5. You're going up against a team, Millersville, that in years past they have just been simply overmatched, and Shepherd's been able to go out there and get the win. But now Shepherd not in that situation, and you're looking around on that sideline, and you're wondering who's going to be the guy or group of guys that's going to step up and drag Shepherd out of this pit that they're in right now. And coaches certainly have their work cut out for themselves this week, trying to find those answers and trying again to reignite that fire. It was like you mentioned, the Rams had that opportunity in their hands versus Slippery Rock, and to lose a game like that in that dramatic fashion, that's a gut punch, and you can certainly see that they're certainly reeling from that. And then you have a team comes in like Kutztown. They're just a well-oiled machine, and Shepherd just got ran over today.
All right, that's going to wrap up our Palace Lounge post-game show, which is brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edward Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. I want to thank our broadcast crew today. I'm Matt Crawford, Travis Smith with me on the call. Colin McLaughlin was running our main camera today. Ethan Elliott was running our end zone camera. Wyatt Pelicano, our sideline man, and Kyler High back at the studio. Kyler will have our post-game scoreboard show, and he'll run over some of those stats with you from the game today. He'll get those pulled up virtually and give you some of the stats from this one, as well as scores from around Division II football and some Division I games of interest. One final time here from Rand Stadium, I want to remind you that the final here, 49-10, Shepherd losing to Kutztown, and Shepherd drops to 0-4. Kutztown remains undefeated at 4-0. This has been Shepherd Ram Football on TV 10. We'll see you next week at Millersville.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Fort Evans Archery of Inwood is your local full-service archery pro shop with sales and setup, maintenance, repairs, and sight-ins. Fort Evans Archery is a full-stocking dealer for all your favorites like Hoyt, Matthews, Elite, Bowtech, Mission, and Bear, with crossbows from Raven, 10-Point, Barnett, and Excalibur. And Fort Evans Archery has a sight range out to 60 yards. Fort Evans Archery, 998 Ardenelville Road, Suite 2, Inwood, open Tuesday to Friday, 10 a.m. until 6, Saturdays 9:30 to 4. FortEvansArchery.com.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows, whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
Most insurance companies see you as a claim number. Most law firms see you as a case file. When their top priority is their bottom line, you only get a fraction of the attention that you deserve. At the law firm of Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, it's personal. We listen to our clients to see the whole picture, because every part of you is important. For a team built on relationships and results, call Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson at 304 Lawyers, or visit us at burkeandschultz.com.
Welcome into the studio for the post-game show brought to you by Floor Pools. Make every day better with a hot tub or a swimming pool. Floor Pools has locations in Martinsburg, Chambersburg, and Hagerstown. As you just got done watching, your Shepherd Rams falling to Kutztown, number 5 Kutztown, 49-10. Apologies on that one. Not the cleanest game. I'm trying to pull up the stats, but kind of like the guys at the field, I'm also having issues. Seems like the weather's messing with everything a little bit. Here I'll get you to some stats around the PSAC. Clarion versus Edinburgh. That game is final, I believe, with 20-8, with Clarion taking that win. Oh, actually, apologies. That game is not final. Almost at the 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter, Clarion is up 20-15. Edinburgh now has 15 points. They have scored since I made the post-game scoreboard. Westchester beating Millersville 38-7. Indiana University, Pennsylvania. That game is final. I know that one for sure. 40-13 against Seton Hill. Messed that one up earlier in the halftime show. Apologies to anybody who heard that one. East Stroudsburg is losing to Lock Haven 21-10. Bloomsburg and Shippensburg in a nice little shootout kind of game with a 10-7 score. Let me see if I can get a new update on that one. No, it is still in the start of the fourth quarter. It's still 10-7 over there in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. California, PA, and Slippery Rock, your number 4 team, versus your number 8 team. That will take place at 6 p.m. tonight at Slippery Rock Stadium. Let me get this one right this time. Your Mountain East games. Over here at halftime, you have Concord beating West Liberty 23-21. In the start of the third quarter, you have Glenville State beating Charleston 21-17, and your West Virginia State Bees. Hornets, I'm unsure. Apologies if I got any of those wrong. Last time I checked, it was 23-14 in the beginning of the third quarter. Around NCAA Division I football, Arkansas and Notre Dame, as I told you in halftime, Arkansas got 3 points. They got the first points of the game, and then after that haven't been able to get anything going. Notre Dame with 49-13 with 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Cincinnati versus Kansas. That game's turning out to be a really good one in the fourth quarter, with Cincinnati now has the lead over Kansas 30-27. Another game that's going on that WVU fans might be interested in is Louisville-Pittsburgh. That game's gone back and forth, but Pittsburgh now does have the lead 27-20. Like we said earlier, one more game that might be interesting if you're a Eastern Panhandle or West Virginia fan. You got James Madison right down the road on 81, 21-3 over Georgia Southern. That game is about to be in halftime. Other games in the 3:30 slot tonight. Utah versus West Virginia. If you're on the road and out there in the rainy weather, please be safe. And also, if you want to listen to the game not on your phone, don't text and drive. Utah versus West Virginia. That game will be on Talk Radio WRNR 106.5 FM and 740 AM if you want to listen to that while you're on the road. Other games you have is the number 1 Ohio State versus Washington as they take on each other. LSU, number 4 team, versus 13 Ole Miss. That game should be a really interesting game. Let's see if we have any other interesting games. Nothing really in the top 5. Another game that you have multiple games in 7:30 is number 6 Oregon versus number 3 Penn State. Another game that will be a big decision maker for the SEC in playoff time is Alabama versus Georgia. Alabama coming in as number 17 and Georgia coming in as number 5. That will be a very interesting game. If you're a Marshall fan, at 8 p.m. they'll play the Ragin' Cajuns, Louisiana. At 8 p.m. tonight, that game will be at the Louisiana Ragin' Cajun Stadium. That has been your post-game show. Like we said, once again, your final against the number 5 Kutztown for the Shepherd Rams, 49-10. I've been Kyler High with Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Have a great night and be safe, and see you next Friday for your halftime show with Martinsburg. Have a great night.
You've been watching play-by-play coverage of NCAA Division II football featuring the Shepherd University Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's telecast has been brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, Smallwood and Small Insurance Agency, Power, Beck, and Matzaref Law Offices, Senate Finance Chairman Jason Barrett, Hagerstown Ford, Fort Evans Archery, Rocks Local Markets, the Brown Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, the Larry DeMarco team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results, Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, personal injury attorneys, Cody's Auto Body, the Palace Lounge, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, the Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, the Berkeley County Health Department, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, Ameriprise Financial and the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, CMA Honda of Winchester, CMA Chevy and Toyota of Martinsburg, CMA Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Martinsburg, Dignity Memorial Rosedale Funeral Home and Cemetery of Martinsburg, Floor Pools of Martinsburg, Hagerstown, and Chambersburg, and Next Level Auto Detailing. TV 10 Sports thanks you for watching today's presentation of Shepherd University Rams football. All rights reserved.